Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, God, it's spiking again. Hang on, let me fix this.
Hello.
I'm sorry, guys. We're having some mixer issues tonight, so we're just trying to set the sound. I hope everything's okay. That should have been moved down a bit more. I am so sorry. That could have been fun on the ears, guys.
Oh, no. Hello. It's Monday.
Yes, it is great to see all you guys in. What a great turnout already, guys. You guys are fabulous. And you're not going to regret it tonight, guys. This is going to be awesome. This is a whole new niche for us to go into, and I'm so excited about this. So,
That's right. Guys, prepare for the flight. Grab your boarding passes.
Oh, the analogies are coming out, guys.
Yes,
look out.
Sit down comfortably. Make sure, if you have already done so, that all your luggage is stowed underneath your seats or above in the luggage compartment.
That's right, guys. We're hitting the skies tonight with Pilot Ryan. The Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike RC. This is so cool. This was our goal right from the need to raise the levels. Yeah, see, this is the problem right now. I'm going to try it, but we're spiking very high right now. That's the whole issue.
So people with headphones, please be careful on the flight.
Yeah, exactly.
With the sound system on our aircraft tonight, it might be a little bit glitchy.
How's that sounding, guys? I'm right up before I go in the reds on our OBS. Is this coming in okay for you? I don't want to blow anybody's... This is good? Thank you very much. Yeah, this literally happened about 10 minutes before we went on. And, yeah, we had to drop our sliders down about half or between half and 3/4. So I do apologize. You guys are always awesome, though, at helping us out. And, of course, things always happen last minute. That's how it's supposed to be, right? What is that music? I really like it. Heat Chill. Oh, I'm glad you asked. That is MU Free Music. Sorry, I'm still playing with sliders here. I should be letting Xenia talk. That is from MU Free Music, guys. Link in the description. Free music for your videos. You hear it exclusively through the intro and through the whole show as well. And you definitely have to check them out. So it's a little loud in my left ear. Right here is fine. The Huntsman.
We might not be responsible for your hearing.
That's right. Don't worry. Everything's centered here. That I'm not even going to start playing with. Thank you guys so much once again for letting me know. I do appreciate it. I'm already seeing some great people coming over tonight, guys. That was the initial goal of our channel, was to bring communities together, niches, to give you guys a chance to find people who don't do what you do, but have an interest in what you do. And I feel excited about tonight because, once again, it's that beginning of a new era for us, tapping into a new community, guys.
That's right. We do have RC tanks. We do have RC cars and trucks, but we don't know too much about RC planes.
That's right.
And I must say it's a very interesting niche to me personally, because all my family from my father's side were all into planes and flying and being pilots on army planes. So we always had model planes in the house. So I'm very...
Oh, guys.
Very
I don't mean to cut you off, but it's an interview night. We usually don't do numbers unless somebody's really close. Once we start doing the interview, this never happens. But it's just before. We just missed it, but he hit 2,000 for Mitten Dad.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations, my friend.
Mitten Dad, one of our past guests, hit 2,000 milestone.
That's right. Big congrats, guys. If you haven't subscribed to him, show him some love. Say hi in the chat, Mitten Dad, with lots of emojis so we can see you. And if you've already supported him in the past, guys, there you go, guys. Pay the tax man. Let's get him over 5 more. Here, let me grab the link, and I'm going to put it in the chat for you all. There you go. Hang on one second.
That's the way to start the week. That's the right way to start the week.
That's right. Maybe somebody in the chat could grab that link for us and run with it for Mitten Dad. Let's just put him right back over. That's only 5. Canadian Drone Hub, Roger. Things went. I had such a nuts day today, but glad you're here. I want you guys to meet tonight, this community. Roger is this amazing place, guys. All you pilots in here tonight, you're definitely going to meet up, want to connect with Canadian Drone Hub. They are awesome, and it's drones, but everything else as well. It's a great morning hang. Every morning you'll meet tons of channels in there, like-minded individuals. And once again, guys, people who just maybe have an interest in what you do but don't do it, have thought about doing it, you know. That's what's cool. Oh, my dad used to fly model planes. We had that with model trains before. We had our Toy Man. You know, oh, my dad used to do that. and it builds a connection right there.
And I must say, and I'm sure the community is gonna. Oh,
there we go. There we go, guys. There we go. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
I'm sure the RC playing community is gonna say it always was relevant, but I must say it's coming back. It's coming back once again. I think those little boys have finally grown up. They can afford their own planes, and they are flying them, and it's on a trend. So, guys, let's catch it today and see what it's all about.
That's really awesome. Guys, flood the chat with emojis for the Mitten Dad. Let's show some love to him for hitting 2,000. Show him some love. And well earned, my friend. Well earned. A great channel, guys. Great channel to connect with, guys. You will not be disappointed. Once again, a big congratulations. And yes, that's right, Gator Bite. Everybody, please no self-promotion. Instead, if you want to check out somebody, do it. Tonight is interview, so keep it on the down a little bit more, just a little more quieter. And still welcome to this. Think of it almost like I say, like a comedy club. You're sitting at your table, you lean back, talk to somebody beside you. That's normal. Just nothing too blatant. But please, under any circumstances, no self-promotion. Not I have a this or that going on my channel. None of this, oh, I just came in to say hi because I'm going live in 5 minutes. None of this, any of this stuff. You guys, we all know what it is. In a live stream, we use the same manners, the same respect we use in day-to-day world. Everybody gets along just fine. So
that's right. And let's respect our guest tonight. It's an interview night. Let's respect our guest and just sit back and relax and enjoy the flight. There's going to be lots of those, believe me.
I knew already. I knew what we were getting ourselves into.
But
yeah, exactly. Somebody want to have a counter out there. You can. This could be a fun game. If you have a couple of drinks around, you wanted to polish them. Those would be a good drinking game. See, every time Xenia makes one of these flying puns.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, today's a legit reason, so I can do it.
Everybody knew. I'm going to say this right away, guys. Give you a bit of time. We have a group. As you can see here, everybody has blue wrenches. The majority do. If you don't already, Xenia's going to just be venting and handing them out very soon. But either way, if you do or don't, at the moment, we call it the Blue Wrench Group. It's no club or affiliation or anything. It's not a Costco membership. It is just a group of YouTubers having fun together and respecting each other, enjoying each other's time. And one way we do that is we ask you guys if you have the time, we'd love to see you to take a selfie of you watching us. And if you can't do that, a selfie of you. Upload it using Twitter. And make sure to use the hashtag Blue Wrench Group so everybody can see you. And we'll check them in a few minutes. And show everybody what you look like. This is always a great time. Yeah, I remember Paul from the other day. It's great to have you in here. I'm so glad you could make it. How awesome is that?
And I already seen some selfies on Twitter appearing,
yes,
guys, but it's never too late. You can add yours at any time, and we're going to go back and look at them during our show. Well, at the end of it, for sure.
Miss Boozer as well is from the RC community, the RC playing community. It's great to have you in, too. There you go, guys. There's the link a couple times. So if you're new as well, please feel free. We'd love to see what you look like. It's always great. And there you can self-promote. If you have merch or anything like that, take a minute, put it on, and take your selfie with that so everybody can see what you're doing.
That's right. That's right. And if you're new here, please remember to smash that like button.
That's right.
And share it out. And of course, if you're new and you like what we're doing here, subscribe to us. The link is down below. Please do, and hope you can enjoy some of our content during our week. And yes, by the way, we are here 6 times a week.
That's right, guys.
That's right. From Sunday to Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern every day except for Thursday at 1 p.m. All the schedule is in About section as well as our video description. So hope you can make it back at some of our shows and check out what else we're doing here. That's
right, guys. We have everything on our homepage. You can find out what we're all about. We have our second series of Tube Life, which is going on tonight. We have our shout-outs, guys. It's a great way to meet channels. That's Sunday nights, and that's the only time of the week we're not on at 7 p.m. Eastern is on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, where we have our European edition. So what else can we show you on here, guys? We have our cinematics. We have our living photo series. Xenia and I are photographer and videographer couple from Montreal. And it's just great to have all you guys in here. You guys are stalkers. Yeah, the panda. That's right. We're stalkers. You nailed it. I also want to mention, guys, don't forget about our Blue Wrench merch, guys. Blue Wrench merch. Here it is, guys. Shirts, T-shirts, hoodies, you name it. Stickers, the whole kit and caboodle, including, if anybody likes socks, which another one, the socks and the leggings are Xenia's idea, and she made them herself. They're a seamless Blue Wrench pattern that you can check out. Thank you so much, Ben Coombs, and so do you, man. Love hanging out in your channel. It was great meeting so many people the other night, and that had an awesome time. Great vibe. So yeah, guys, you can check them out, and it's almost at an end, but here it is, guys. Our Valentine's Day merch. It is not too late. Still free shipping?
Yes, that's right. If you apply code LOVEALL, it is free shipping for our Valentine's Day merch and for Blue Ridge Group merch as well. Pillows, cups, and t-shirts, all to snuggle with yourself or with your loved one. In red, white, and black tones here. And of course, our very special limited edition Puša Studios mug and stickers, 2-in-1 as well. Yes, that's right. You get 2 stickers for a price of 1.
There you go, guys. So definitely make sure to check them out. Links will be periodically in the chat, and you can find them in the description. Let's see what we got for selfies while we're up here, and then we're going to call out everybody's name. I don't think we have too many yet. I know I'm rushing that one a bit. I'll give you guys a little more time, but we'll see who's going here. Thank you so much, Theatrical Pops, for tweeting it out. I really do appreciate it. And Sergeant Slot Machine, thank you so much. You guys are awesome, awesome. Gary, what's going on, Gary? Oh, that's a cool shot. Love it.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, you'll definitely enjoy this one tonight, Gary. This is right up your alley.
Beautiful pictures, as always, from Razzle-Rama. So beautiful. Amazing.
Unbelievable. Such quality. Really. And remember, guys, I'll put the link for you. It's not too late to put up yourself. Oh, Xenia just did. Pardon me. Excellent. Oh, my God. I even know who this is from before I even look. Wow, we're just getting more and more famous people by the moment, aren't we?
That's right. That's
there
right.
You go. There you go. That's what I've always been hoping to work out. So thank you, Horton Images. Really do appreciate it. Tony's review. You are so cool, my friend. Thank you so very much. Love seeing you. That is awesome.
6 hours. Congratulations on 500.
Oh, well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. they slept before you started the live stream, 2:30 a.m.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. She looks so comfortable.
Yes.
They both look so comfortable. Vexicore. So much love to you. So much love to you. Thank you so very much. And like I said, guys, we'll check back in just a little bit, so it's not too late to show us your selfie. Show us what you got going on. A selfie of you watching us. If you can't do that, a selfie of you. And then just upload it to our Twitter using the hashtag Blue Wrench Group so everybody can see it. It's a great way for you to be seen as well, guys. There's lots of people checking them out. It's become kind of like a scrapbook of our channel. So
yes, that's right, guys. And just a reminder again, for no self-promotion, no numbers, no got yous. I will start to get furious and fuzzy.
Fuzzy, no less. There's one of Xenia's Eastern European translation ones.
Yeah. If you decide to follow somebody, go over to their channel and leave a comment on one of their videos. That's the best way to tell them that you're following them. Let's respect our guest here and pay attention to amazing stories that our guests have here. True North Angler, hello. Good to see you too. Ollie the Andersons, welcome to our channel.
Great to have you. I think it's time to call out everybody's name here.
Yes, there is.
Guys, we always do this. Let me just close up a window here so I can see you all better. We have 116 in the chat right now, guys. 116. Can everybody that is a human being please hit the number 3? One time per person, but everybody that's here hit number 3. Skills, what's going on, my man?
We'll read Eileen, A-OK Foraging Adventures.
I guess we got a lot of lag tonight.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it started for you already. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Number 3s are flooding the chat.
Thank you so much, guys. Look at all these amazing people in here, guys. Honored to be with you guys tonight.
And we're going to have a Valentine's dance on Thursday.
Yes.
Yes. We have a 1 p.m. live stream on Thursday, but Friday, guys, we have a very intimate Q&A. Just the two of us and you guys, of course, in the chat, all about us, how we met, why did I move here, and why am I sitting on this couch? All on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
You're so crazy. Oh, my God. You cracked me up.
We might also get some candies.
We might.
Since you liked it so much the last time we had them here.
All right, folks, it is time for an arena-sized welcome for each and every one of you. Oh my God, this is going to be quite a story on the 14th. All right, 15th. Yeah, okay, close enough. Alrighty, guys, I want to say a big arena-sized welcome to Xeon, U-Drone, Witch on Wheels, Willie Reed, West Haven, Always and Forever, Vexicore, Vanex, Valen Coco, Tyreek's Eating Show, True North Angler, Tootsie Rolling Stone Travels, Tony's Reviews, The Panda Photographer, Theatrical Pops, The Illuminator, The Story of Dory, The Shiny Collector, JVB, The Creator Spotlight Show, Terrell Artwork Channel, our original wrench, guys. Back when we had nobody in the chat, Terrell was there helping us out. Syntax AI, Sparky 107, Sparky and Eliza, Soshira is here, Sleeping Artist ASMR, SM Gamer.
And Sparky, I'm not dancing with Andrew. Well, maybe if he buys the beer. We'll have to see on Thursday, guys. Thank you. God.
Sparky's an awesome model railroad channel, by the way, guys. You definitely have to check him out. He's awesome. And he's very excited for tonight. I'm glad all these niches are meeting each other. Yes. SJ Production is here. Riley Brock, Redman Paranormal, RC Weavin FPV, Rosalrama Videos, Pretty J's channel, Plain Jane Experiments, Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike RC is already in the chat, guys, so make sure to look him up and say hi and check him out. Picker Rick is in here. How are you, my friend? Phantom Flight 101, PD Tech, Paul Hatcher, Parody Central Philippines. We have Paranormal Wales UK, Orton Images, Organic Gardening in North Carolina, Only the Andersons, Novice Quads is here, Nagi All-Star is here, Nina and Sean is here, Night Strix, we have Newburyport Drones, Mystery Steamboat, My Permaculture Garden, Mummy Shell, Miss Naturally Nollins, Miss Boozer RC, Miss Trees Favs. I start mixing up all the miss together. I'm so sorry. Miss Fitz Hunting and Fishing. Mike Har Ranger is here. Mary Boozer RC. Something having the participation got you twice. Well, that is special. That's a sign on YouTube that they really like you. Mercil Hay Harding is here. Manic Magic. Lovely Rose. Life of Vicky. Let Us ASMR. Lady B ASMR. Kiwi Matt Reacts, King FPV, Kidney Jerk is here, welcome back, Casey Green, Just My Fish, Johnson Joy, John Chum, Jim Wallace alias Mr. Graphic, Jasavia Jones, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced it, but I'm so happy to have you here, Jacqueline Brown, JNC No Limit TV, Jay Plans Vlogs, our guest from last week. Awesome to have you back, as always. Izzy Fam, it's me, Christy Lee. Infantry Outdoors. I Craze Ja. I am Angel. I like that. Hungry Squad. Grudge Turner. GRE 2057. Good Cemetery's Gone Bad. Going on Grumpy. Gil Skills is in the house. Gil Skills is here. Gabriel Z, G Mama's World, Flyer FPV, Fittin' to Grub, let's see here, Eric Rogers, Finn Kowal, Eileen Villieu the Fam, Elite Fitness, Daffodils in Vegas, Detecting for Life, Destination Chronicles, Dennis Farley, Dark One, D Squad, Cross Comics, Carla E Show, aka See Me Sassy. Canadian Drone Hub is here, guys. My friend Roger, my buddy. California Good Eats ASMR. Brown Eyes Gaming. Bobby Sprinkle. Bob D Good. BNO Outdoors. Big Heck. Big 420 Punisher. Ben Coombs. Ashley Beauty. Asgard Studios Outdoors. Arizona Timeless Tourist. AOK Foraging and Adventures, and Uber, Animal Flex Animations, Alex the Blue Man reviewer and gamer. I'm going to need oxygen soon. Ashel the Great, 6 Howards, 2 1090 Brewing, 2 Tricks Crew. Welcome each and every one of you guys. If we did miss you, please say hi, highlight our names so we can definitely call you out. Like, hey, Wisner's in here, Big Rob, AK Godfather Scratcher, Dave Kowalski's in here, Let's Do Something is in here. You can take over for a second. I'm running out of wind.
Papa Boozer, yes, Theoretical Pops, thank you so much for prompting everybody to smash that like button. Please do. Vanix is here, Nina and Sean, Aaron's family. Hello, Wiesner.
Lujan Gaming.
Idiot of the Day, Q-Mat Reacts
nice.
is here. Paul Hatcher, hello. And welcome to our channel.
Yep, Paul's from the community, the RC community, like I said in a while. Great to see
Dave, Organic Gardening in North Carolina, is here as well. Daffodils in Vegas. Yes, well, and you guys, if you're buffering, don't suffer. Refresh. It's not just our live streams, it's also the videos on YouTube are buffering ever since slightly the last week. So let's all live together.
Caribou Country Outdoors, how are you? Good to see you. Great to see you. Wiseman Creek Studio as well. Destination Chronicles, I believe we said hi already, but I never mind saying hi to you again. To each and every one of you guys. Two Family Homestead, how are you? Great to see you. Oh, Big Mac is in the house. How are you? Great to see you. Oh, no asking for anything. No asking for subs. No asking for flowers, outhouse doors, whatever you want to call it. No asking for it. So,
and don't give up. JC, keep making content. Never give up. Taking breaks is okay, and you can come back and continue where you left off. Don't give up all the work that you have put in from before.
I'm begging you. You've come too far with it. You put too much into it.
Mudnuts Reviews, Emergency Vehicles is here as well, guys. We are going to invite our guest in just a couple of minutes, so you still have time to get your coffee, go to the bathroom. What else is there?
Gator Bite,
how are you?
Quick
shower if you are budget outdoors and survival.
Wink, wink, shower.
Like, share, and of course put your selfie up there. # Blue Ridge Group.
Hanger Rats. Oh, so thank you guys. So I appreciate that's what he calls these group, the Hanger Rats. I love that.
Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike RC is in the house in the chat, so you all can say hi to our guest of honor tonight, our pilot for the flight.
Tweet it out, guys. Tell friends. This is always great when new communities are coming together like this, guys. Everybody benefits from it. It is really, this is how we've all been growing. That's what our whole premise of our live streams from the beginning's been about. It's really been the core thing. We always say it's like the earth. You have your core group, the ones you learn from, mentor from, get ideas from, collaborate with. But then comes that next core, and it's here where you get to meet all these different creators who don't do exactly what you do, but it doesn't stop you guys from doing amazing collaborations, being inspired, bringing new things back to your community, new ways of doing things. And then after that, guys, our last step is to gain viewers. Many viewers that don't even create but just come to watch. It all happens in steps, and tonight is another really big step. And we've worked really hard this season on Tube Life to get people that are not in a community that we've already known to really reach out. And it does take a lot more work, but it's worth it. Ben Coombs and all these guys came from EVH, and it was unbelievable how amazing it worked out. You know, we got to meet so many of these great channels, and they've got to meet you guys. And they're going to each other's live streams now, watching each other's videos. And I've even heard of some of them talking about getting together to do projects. And that's what it's all about, guys.
That's right. And we have some amazing guests coming up this month and in March as well. We have astronomer who is working on Hubble telescope. We have a Cuban-American Latino music star. We have a journalist on. We have a Japan. Well, he lives in Japan for the last 15 years, so he's a Japan expert, I must say. We have so many amazing channels and people joining us.
One sec. Guys, they're saying the buffering is absolutely horrible tonight. Guys, we're going to disappear for 30 seconds. Don't move a muscle. You guys won't be kicked out of the chat. We're going to just start off OBS. We're going to try one. The only thing we can do is try and connect to the backup YouTube server. It's none of our fault. It is the YouTube servers. So, guys, don't move a muscle. If you guys can let people know if they come in, that we'll be right back in 2 seconds. Let's try this and see if it works. You don't have it run live, so we know when we're on. That's I should have asked you this one.
Yep.
There we go, guys. Okay, we're back on.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're back. We're going to try this and see if it works. That's the only trick we have in the book. So thank you very much for your patience, and hopefully that will make things work a bit better. But if not, just, guys, remember, if it buffers, hit F5 on your keyboard. That's the shortcut for refresh. If you're on a Mac, Command R, and hopefully that will fix it. And we apologize, guys, but it's worth it for tonight. You're not going to want to miss it with our awesome guests. So we're always at the mercy of YouTube. Anybody doesn't know it right now, Google is migrating their servers away from Google. That is causing a lot of problems. Plus, the implementation of what is now beta will become the alpha for the Creator Studio. All these things are playing into effect. So.
Ben Combs says, true, I came because of Eric and I stayed because of you two. Thank you so much. And guys, that's what we're talking about, is that when we do our shout outs and we do talk about channels, is make your content count, because that's what brings people to come back and check you out again and stay. Infantry Outdoors, I see the same questions going on about the new, which is not new gun policy on YouTube. Tomorrow is Tech Talk Tuesday, so let's talk about it tomorrow.
Please bring it up. That would be a good time. That would be a great thing to bring to the table.
Yep.
And guys, that's a really fun night. It's 3 hours of just discussing YouTube. If you're into YouTube, you're going to love it there. Everybody's helping each other. You can ask questions from shooting video, editing video, tags, and so on down the line. Everything is up for discussion. I'm just going to look very quickly because we're going to get our guest on, but I want to say thank you to Sleeping Artist ASMR. Love it. This is becoming an evening ritual. I love that. And love having you here, and thank you so very much. I also want to say thank you to Syntax AI and Daffodils in Vegas for tweeting it out. Thank you so much. Guys, if you haven't already, this is the time because we're just about to go. Let's show some love for our guests and get as many people in here as possible.
I love the panda photographer. That is amazing. Selfie.
Wow.
That's a pro selfie.
Jeez. That is crazy.
Nice.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Guys, the panda photographer. Wow, that is so incredible. You do incredible work. Daffodils in Vegas. What is going on? And this is over 8 foot snow. Too much snow.
Yeah,
in Vegas. I think we're on vacation somewhere.
We are about to be hit with a storm tomorrow night.
Yes.
There's going to be 40 centimeters of snow coming here.
Pusa Studios is live tonight. Gray skies here today. Although, yeah, we're getting that. We're going to be getting that too. But thank you so much, my friend. Never gray skies with you. You never miss your selfie. Thank you so much, my friend. Always love seeing you. Grudge Turner, there you are. Thank you so very much, my friend. Thank you. I love it. That's a great way to do it. Great way to tie it in. That's it. Loving it, my friend. Thank you so very much. Oh, Vexicor. You have some of the best artwork on YouTube. I swear to God, I don't know how you do it. Orton Images. Buffering, blame Kyle. Oh, my God almighty. Yeah. Kylie, I mean. Yes. Thank you, Morton. Thank you so much. And Tony's Reviews, thank you once again, my friend. Always looking good. Always looking sharp. Well, guys, I think it's just about that time to get our guest out here. So if you've not hit the like button, please do. If you've not hit the subscribe button, please do. And if you've not tweeted it out, please do. That really does help us out a lot, guys. Get the word out there. And it's also great for a guest to have all these amazing people like you seeing them. So it's once again a new community coming together tonight, guys. This is always exciting. So I'm going to get the link out. I'll let Xenia take over here, and then we'll be ready to go in just a minute.
That's right, guys. And it's always time to put your selfie out there. Hashtag Blue Ranch Group. Please do. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this flight. Captain has turned on the Fasten Seat Belt sign. Do you see it? If it's buffering, refresh. If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. And please take your seat and fasten your seat belt. Make sure your seat is up and folding. Trays are in their full upright position. Please prepare for takeoff. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight with the best RC plane pilot, Ryan.
Oh, dear God.
He's going to be joining us in just a couple of moments. Let's have a safe flight.
I'm going to get him all set up in OBS, and then we'll be ready to bring him out. I'll let Xenia use a few more innuendos, and if that doesn't chase him off, well, he's a pretty strong man. We're just glad to have him on the show. He'll be a great fit. So oh my God, I guess we're ready.
We are ready for takeoff. Copy that.
Good evening, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Great to see you. Great to see you. How you doing?
Everything working okay from my end here?
I think we're good. Maybe I'll get you just to lower the volume of your mic just a little bit.
Lower?
Yeah, a little bit lower, yeah.
Tell me when.
It's coming in pretty strong.
Check it out. Check the mic.
Alrighty. What do you guys think?
Ladies and gentlemen in the chat blowing up since like 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's how you roll over there.
Yes.
Pusa Studios.
Yeah, well, that's why we started the early intro back when, is because we said people have been in there for so long, might as well give them something to look at and actually help with the show. So, yeah.
You guys are amazing, and I've thank you first of all, and I've seen you on Twitter, but I hadn't consumed any of your stuff until really just we spoke, and like you guys are very inspiring yourselves. You guys are like streamer deluxe.
Thank
Really,
you.
there's a lot to learn from you guys, and I'm gonna pick your brain more later sometime.
It's open for picking. That's all.
Anytime.
And we're learning as we go. Like, I mean, we didn't have any plans to live stream, and we just started teaching ourselves, and we've fallen our face. We tell everybody, you know, you got to be honest, and this is what happened. We screwed this up, but that's what we learned from it, and that's the only way, is to keep doing it and getting better.
Well, a lot of our friends in the community seem to live by this advice, where if you wait till you're ready to begin, you'll never start at all. You have to just go for it, don't you?
That is the number
That's
one
very
key to
true.
live stream. I always tell people, they say, oh, I'm nervous to go on. If you already have people following you, they're ready to see you. They want to hear what you have to say. So you don't have to worry about somebody coming, and after that, they want to cheer you on. So just go and do it.
We've done 6 months of weekly shows consecutively, and I still don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I find that hard to believe, because I watched you the other night, and I really, first of all,
I can talk okay, but the tech, like really.
well,
Ask Mary Boozer, like we beat our heads against the wall earlier today, just trying something out. Actually, Andrew, it was you and I had talked about the Hangouts, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't know that already. Actually, I've been moderating comments when I could have had guests for months at this point.
well,
So thanks so much.
that was yesterday, and today is today. Don't worry about it. Now
We
just take
all
it and run
learn
with it.
from each other, and I'm sure today is going to be lots to learn from you too.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm just showing everybody. I'm letting a little clip run as we're talking. Guys, this is what a set looks like. And it is so cool. It looks like inside the corner of a museum hangar.
Oh yeah.
I was
yeah.
I was so caught with it the other night. I noticed myself just staring at it for so long, thinking this is so incredible to watch. And there was the right time in the Saturday. It was Saturday evening, I believe, right?
That's right, 9 Eastern.
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
There, JNC No Limit. No, I love it. Exactly. It's cool looking.
Thanks.
And
We got a great group of people. I mean, you know how it is. It doesn't happen without the community, the people that come and hang out with you. And I couldn't be more happy with the RC Pilots Lounge name, because that is completely what it really is. So, I mean, before live streaming, obviously there's YouTube, and in my niche, there's flight videos, we call them flight reviews.
right.
And it is what it is. And we do those still too, but it's dependent upon weather.
Right.
And also scheduling conflicts and things like that. So to be able to engage consistently, the live streaming angle was completely what was necessary.
Right.
And I'm like all over it. We're having a ball. Like, I think all the Hanger Rats look forward to Saturday night for sure. I do.
There's a real camaraderie in there, and I like that. There's a feeling when you walk in right away, and that's when you know you're in a good live stream. And I'm always telling people you got to build yourself as a brand, and that's where it really falls into live streams, is where people feel like they're going to like a local pub. They're all welcome. They all know each other's name. There's always some new ones because you need to grow. But there's a feeling when you walk in that everybody kind of likes to be where they are at that moment, and I got that in your stream.
I get that you enjoy that vibe too from your branding on the Cheers font.
Yes.
Right. I some people may not get it, but I think there's a certain range of demographic that will totally know where you're coming from with that. It's awesome.
And I felt that the other night in yours. I really did, and I like that, and I see that. That's when I know a stream is really working well. That people have been returning. They feel like they belong into it. And people need to feel, and I even after by the end of your live stream, I felt like I belonged to be in there, and that's what it was that's when you know you've enjoyed yourself, and that's what keeps people coming back. You guys worked well as a team like that.
Thanks so much. The moderators in there and all the guys are really quick to help. And then when new guys, you know, the thing about this niche and the community, I think everybody really is rooting for the other guy, and it doesn't matter where you're at skill level. There's so many. For those who don't really know RC airplane flying and jets and whatever else, there's actually so many different disciplines of the hobby. Nostalgia, historical planes, there's competition stuff, stunt, there's old school where they're building them out of paper and wood. There's just so much going on. And there's so many people that are on their journey too, at different levels in it. So when a new person, a beginner comes on, like, we jump all over them, like in the best way possible to give them advice, right? And the best way to answer a question many times is with more questions.
Yes.
So we want to know where they're coming from, what's their experience level, what kind of equipment do they have already, so we can give them the best answer possible. So the new guys are welcome. We're always really glad to see them too. I mean, it just like any successful online community is built upon that kind of real camaraderie. So yeah, thanks for noticing. And we were glad that, I'm not sure any of my people recognized maybe you when you popped in the chat, but I did. And, I kind of almost broke away and was like rapping at you in a way a little bit. So and here we are, right?
Things happen fast.
Yeah, they can, So cool. Thank you so much.
Well, no, we were always, like I said, that's been our goal, is to bring communities together. And like Xenia found you, I think it was through the channel RC Tech.
Yes.
Right? You retweeted a post or something. Yep. And that's what we're doing. We're always watching and scouring. It's like, there you go. This is one we haven't kind of really gotten into yet. Let's go take a look. And then she comes over to me, or I'll come to her and be like, we've done it like at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes we're like the laptop in hand. You've got to check what these people are doing, and then we run from there. And you fit right in that like mold right away. It's like we've got to connect with these guys.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And I just want to shout out real quick my people. Like, they're so used to me. I don't see the comments at all tonight, by the way, which is like a weird, like an odd place for me. Like, I'm Spitfire reading the comments, paraphrasing, and just trying to keep the thing going. So I'm just, this is I'm in my same spot, but this is a totally new situation.
Feels weird, doesn't it?
It does feel weird, and I feel like I should be doing something, but it's on you tonight.
That's right.
We're full control. That's what I do. You don't have to worry about that stuff. That's when I go on panels sometimes. I always say it's like one time I seen James Hetfield, the time he burned his arm from Metallica, and he couldn't play guitar for 5 weeks. I feel like him when he was standing with the cast, feeling like I should be playing something right now. That's what it feels like to be on a panel where I don't have control of the chat and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
But you're doing fantastic.
I'm looking at the Zoom deal. That's all I see.
Well, right now we're just about topping. We were close just a minute ago to 100 in the chat. We're holding around there. So we're between there. There's a lot of buffering on tonight, but man, you guys are troopers. And remember, guys, if you buffer, hit F5 from PC, Command R on Mac. We apologize, but YouTube doesn't give us contracts or we would fight it. So, so I guess we'll start. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, well, she made a real nice rhyme, I think, about something about buffer and suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Can you tell us?
Yeah. Don't let it. Don't buffer. No, you confused me now. If you buffer, don't suffer. Refresh. There you go.
That's it.
Oh my
if
God.
you buffer, don't suffer, refresh.
That's right. I guess we'll start by just letting you tell everybody a little bit about your niche, what it's about your channel, what it is for RC planes.
Okay, now this is where I ask a question.
You go right ahead. And
there's so many different angles I feel like I could take.
Take a couple of them where you feel it's important. You know your genre better than anybody else. Just give a nice rounded explanation about it.
Yeah, so I mean, the guys who are here from our channel already kind of know the back end. I guess. Yeah, I don't know where to begin. As far as us as the channel, let me just go with that history.
Sure.
My cameraman and I, who's not around tonight, he works out of town half the week, and it was really something to coordinate bedtimes and dog walks and stuff already. But we started the channel in 2012. We love RC, right? We fly, you know, he's got experience in full-scale aircraft, and I started taking lessons in full-scale aircraft. I never finished them. I moved away, the classic story. But I kind of grew up in an aviation family. It was always, it's like in my DNA. And I really, and I did rock and roll for years. I never paid much attention to it till I got like married and kind of maybe settled down a little bit in a way and needed something to do. So aviation became the new rock and roll for me. Anyway, moved here, met Captain Mike. And he asked me if I wanted to start a YouTube channel. And I was like, yeah. I thought it was hilarious that he asked me, because I tried to do a YouTube channel before, just, you know, videoing your flights, talking to the people, with the hope, really, the way the RC market seems to work, it's kind of a little bit, maybe in a way, behind, I think, the rest of the ebb and flow of social media. So if you can get some traction, you can get product to review, which is fantastic. Definitely. I mean, these planes, they're not as expensive as they used to be, but man, how cool is that to get noticed for your efforts and what you're doing? So
most definitely.
My wife and I started a channel a long time ago. Not this one. And I knew it wasn't going to work with her, because after 2 minutes of being in the air, she would start snapping her fingers, and she's like ready for me to land. Like she wasn't into it at all. Right. So we gave it up, met Mike, and he asked me that question. I'm like, yeah, oh my goodness, yes. And our first videos were all about teaching guys how to fly. The channel used to be called RC Air Training Command, and we did these flight lessons online. We were trying to be that spot between the manufacturer and the best manual you could ever read that came in the box, and give you that kind of veteran advice, like stand next to you buddy that knows how to do it and can teach you without actually having to go to a field and overcome your stage fright, you know, or your ego, and ask for help. So
I like that.
We went for these lessons. So that was some of the first videos we did, were just these, like, you know, we were already flying jets and kind of more advanced things, but we're like, you know what, let's take the beginner plane, do some lessons, try to get the mindset right for people who might want to learn so they can have success. Because when the modeler pilot themselves is successful, they keep coming back. They have these small victories, and that's what you need. It's encouragement, and it's also good for the industry, who I'm trying to also appeal to, because the better they do, the more choices the modeler has. It's very symbiotic, and without defining it too far, I mean, positivity always kind of wins. So right. You're just positive all over the place. The whole thing elevates, which is, you know, where really the roots are in this thing.
I like that, and that's something I hear a lot as we're working with groups, you know, and they'll come to me and they'll say, well, things are a little bit different in our niche because we have to deal with this and this. And I'll be like, well, you'll be surprised, because the mechanic channel just said that to me 2 weeks ago. And so did the knitting channel a month ago. And, you know, there's more similarities that bind us, than separate us. And that's what I noticed the more we're into this. And niches face all the same kind of hurdles. You know, how do you handle beginner through advanced? How do you make it, you know, approachable and technical without losing people into it, but also keeping the more advanced happy? How do you guys feel you balance that out?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Like to keep everybody like kind of interested and hooked by keeping something for the advanced and something for the beginner, and something like you mentioned part of it already by like being open to new ones. And do you feel you have to, like, is that a challenge for you to keep both sides?
It's, you know, we do, it's very organic and always has been. So we're honest to ourselves, but also very cognizant of who's all watching. And so, and I come from a place, so we started this channel in 2012. We did it for 9 months, and then we got a gig with a major company that was just opening up and starting. So we did their thing for 5 years, very organic, and we built up this, you know, kind of reputation and following. And in that, not to derail and forget, you know, jump the shark, but working with that company pushed us to do things that maybe necessarily we weren't always into. Like personally, Captain Mike and I kind of are into like the jets and the more advanced stuff. You know, we've cut our teeth, but as working for that brand, doing all kinds of content creation, video, photos, social media, we did all that. We were all the time doing projects. It didn't matter what it was. It could have been the advanced thing, could have been a new thing, could have been a beginner thing, prop, plane, jet plane, civilian, military, weird little gadget thing that flies. I mean, in the house, like whatever, we had to work it up. And you know, what was funny is we learned that we really had fun doing it no matter what it was. Some people thought it was they couldn't even believe it. It's like, come on, man, like really, you're having a good time flying that thing? I'm like, yes, I am, because it really is all about, I love what you said about the niche thing. It so much of what it takes to be successful in one transcends so many others, right? It
right.
really is all about propping up your community, and when you do that well, you win. You build that authority and that trust that you need to sustain. And so it's funny, I had RC tunnel vision forever until really just over this last year when I'm kind of transitioning back to our original channel here, which when you guys look at the numbers, you'll see it's I mean, whatever, vanity metrics, but it's getting there. But
yeah,
we took a 5-year break. So it's not quite where maybe it ought to be, but we did build a channel from 0 to, 26K, which niche was pretty cool. And it was all just organically and being real. Like I'm almost more proud of our comment sections than anything, because I'm telling you, now that there's hearts, unless you're a jerkwad, you get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, not only did someone like your comment, but like I did.
Yeah.
Like we're there. So not only no matter what niche you're in, not only do you have to have a social media house, but the lights need to be on. Yes. And that's really what is interesting. And since I took the blinders off out of this RC tunnel vision over this last year, while I'm kind of reinventing myself and all, I really noticed that what you said, where it's very human and it's everywhere, the same relational tactics are what's necessary. So yeah, man, being a good person, basically, isn't it?
I love what you said, though. It really is a key factor is appreciating, like you said. I love what you said with the comments.
Yes, very true.
That not many people say, and that's a great example of what it is. You run for this, and I always say I'm not a sub snob or a sub whore. We all need subs to grow. It's not everything. And that's a great example of you taking the approach of looking at the long-term gains from it is by audience appreciation. And that is so key. And by your comments is a huge part of that. It shows engagement. It shows a belonging to something. And that is, not many people say that. So I'm really was kind of taken back when you were paid recognition to that, because that's key to growing a channel.
It's 100% imperative, and it's one of those things that if you're paying attention, you'll learn. Mike and I just operate that way. You know, if you looked at let's say there's a list of things to do strategy wise to be successful in YouTube, and there's a lot of them. That's one of them. It's very simple, and it's amazing that you have to tell people that. But if you want something from people, you have to give something back beyond just this, snippet.
Right.
So yeah, and it's one of those things. Like I spoke with you the other day, just briefly, and we learned, just like you, I'm sure, like most what we know and strategies by mistake, and it was kind of just by doing them naturally. So when it's in your DNA to enjoy the buzz and the hype that comes with releasing new videos and all that kind of engagement you get, and not engagement like analytically, but just for like the people, like I was telling you, I have as much fun with the social media and YouTube side of it as I do the planes themselves, but I don't want to wear out. Not everybody comes to us for that. So it's kind of nice getting to talk about that today.
Right. And that's it. You'll have your core that will do that, some that will just come to watch, and that's fine. I mean, we're the same way. We know that. We'll have some that come to our show tonight, so won't come to the interviews, and some that will come to Tech Talk Tuesdays, but won't come to... There's reasons why they come to each, and as long as they come is the main thing. Make them feel celebrated for doing it, and let them make their choice, and give something for everybody, so they're not missing if they miss a night. That's their own choice. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But there's something there to keep all your audience happy.
And it's there as an archive. Like, you guys have really built quite a thing here. I think really, it's really neat. Again, inspiring and very impressive.
Oh,
you guys work a lot. Can I go like meta?
Sure.
So, or maybe this isn't the place, but like, you run ads, right? You run ads?
No.
Well, monetized.
Yeah, we're monetized. Yeah. We're monetized for it, but you mean ads to promote our channel?
Well, no, you do good on social, and thanks for all your stuff you sent me today. But do you monetize your YouTube?
Oh, right? Yes, we do.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you meant do we pay for ads like to promote our channel? I thought you meant like
no.
Do
you?
We're monetized. No, we don't. No.
Yeah, you're busy enough. You don't. I mean, that's the thing about consistency too. You guys stream like what, every day?
6 days a week. It's 6
days a week.
It's always at the same time.
Full-time deal?
Well, yeah, we're video and photographers, and this is our low season right now. And we had a big thing last year. We had to go home and take care of some stuff where I grew up, so we didn't do as much videography. So that kind of fit. Xeni does photography. I do videography. And we kind of hit a bit of a lull, and the channel was starting to get some legs, so we decided to put the energy in that.
Yeah, but we still do photography and video. Yep. We do weddings and things like
just
that.
Slow like time of year. Not many people get married in February in Montreal.
Sure. Yeah. That's the thing too with the stream for us. It's like winter, like I mentioned. Like, and I'm fortunate to have this 5 years of. We did it. We had a quota. We put out videos like every month. I had a certain number I had to do, and everything that went with that. And one thing that always bugged me was consistency. Even before I knew it was like one of the boxes you need to tick on successful YouTube.
Right.
It bothered me because it's so much fun to have that buzz, but then because of what we do being outside, it's hard to be consistent unless you are full-time at it. So you're photo and video people. So let's talk real quick about, I think I made this word up. I call it photo masochism.
What does it mean?
The hardest photography and videography, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. And when this thing is over, I'm going to go definitely through the chat. I cannot wait to check out the chat. But, and sorry, I'm not popping in everybody, but
we're posting your links and everything. Don't worry. You're good.
I get the questions.
Yeah.
We'll get to them.
Cool. So I think, somebody, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, if you think about what we do, because I started off in magazine before it was video and online. So photography of these airplanes was my first, in writing articles, was my first step into the business of RC.
Cool.
And that was awesome too, to cut my teeth, but especially since I barely got out of high school, but I wrote articles. I think the jokes on them were so funny.
That's right. Right.
So photomasochism, it's like one of the hardest things to do well is capture these airplanes that are moving through the air. And remember, you're standing there holding it, the controller, so it's always a circle. So if you've got good light over here, okay, that's the only little quadrant of the pattern that you're going to be able to capture photos in, unless you're going for arty stuff where you want a backlit silhouette kind of thing because the sunset's really dope or whatever. But for the most part, it's the toughest photography ever. I used to liken it to like sports photography, right? And also same thing, I'm lumping videography in here because that's really what mainly the thing is. It's like the toughest stuff to do. And for the longest time, Mike shot in manual.
Wow.
DSLRs.
Holy crap.
While actually flying
Auto can't keep up.
I don't know.
I can see how Auto couldn't keep up, but he was flying it at the same time as he was shooting it. That's crazy.
Well, I'm flying, he's filming in manual, And you know what I mean? Most of the time, the only time we would ever really get away with auto on video was if it's like a slow thing, and we can keep it kind of close or tight. But it's all about, you know, setting the widest depth of field you can. Like we take a bead out like on a street sign, like seems like quarter of a mile away, and try to, you know, get it looking good, and then whatever between us and that, we kind of can work it out. But it's photomasochism. I think it's some of the hardest, unless you were trying to like take a picture of a golf ball from the ground where the light is different than it is in the air, right? It's crazy. I mean, my editing is crazy. Like, it's completely different settings. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, completely different stuff on the ground, and then I cross dissolve into whatever it took to be okay in the sky, because it's always blown out on one side,
right,
and it's okay on the other. I mean, photomasochism. I think it's a good word.
I think it suits it very well. Yeah, actually. And my hat goes off to you guys. Yes, and you should do that. You know, there's something to help you, like on your channel rise. I would capitalize on that, and I would be doing articles talking about it and getting into different photography blogs. And no, that I really do mean. And get that word capitalized, and they're going to root it back to you. That's like built like we did with Blue Wrench Group here, where everybody now that's kind of became, it's our clothing and everything has been built around that, and it all starts with you making it happen. And I would nail photography, talk about how to do it, what it stands for, turn it into a term.
Nice. That's good advice. For now, what we have, we kind of have a couple of hashtags. I throw around niche down on Twitter, which is kind of more most of the RC guys are not on Twitter with me. They all are with me on, we talked about this demographically, like YouTube, of course, and Instagram, I'm getting them over there, and then Facebook is strong with this one. Instagram's wonderful because, I mean, what we do is very visual. Yep. And I love the minute movie format.
It's good for that.
And I am all about cross-promoting and hyping videos with Instagram, sending them over to YouTube. I mean, I love Instagram. Twitter's cool. I feel like I engage with like creators here. It's almost like a different vocabulary, and it's like, yeah, some of my stuff makes it over to Twitter, but most of the time it's just kind of like wisecracking. Well, it's Roberta Blake or something.
It's like the workhorse of horses. It's really a really powerful work tool. We use it a lot.
I like it.
Yeah, but it's not. I get where you're coming from into it. The most one we use it for is because YouTube is bad at updating people when you're on or when you have something special, to where Twitter it's instantaneous. And a little note for anybody on Facebook: put a picture of what's going to be on that night, and then tell them to see your first comment for the link, and then put the link in once it's posted, because then Facebook will push it more because it's a picture. But if you put up a YouTube link, they tend to put it at the bottom of the priority list.
They don't like YouTube links.
Hey, everybody hear that? Did you hear that, Merry Boozers? We work together building each other's channels up around here too. You know what I mean? And we have a lot of guys who do reviews and things like we do that come over in the chat, and we all really, you know, help each other out. Again, I got to thank my moderators like super, super hard. I know they're in the chat right now, I'm sure.
Yes, they are.
Dave Wishke, Merry Boozers RC, RC Weavin, FPV. I know I'm forgetting guys. Paul Hatcher's hanging out.
Yes, he is.
Rogers is in the house, I'm sure. Dennis Farley, what's going on? I'm not sure if Michael Sherman's here, but he's the guy who came up with the hanger rats thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
and
cool.
Dennis Farley's daughter drew up a design for us that Captain Mike's really adept at Photoshop, and I'm not. I'm like the video dude, but he can do Photoshop, and we're working on we do t-shirts, and you guys saw some of that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
We got merch, and we're doing that passive income stream thing that influencers do, you know what I mean? You guys have an Amazon store too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, how can you not?
Yep. Like a lot of people like our mics and all that stuff, and it's right down in there, and it leads them right to Amazon. The price is there, everything, and it runs right through our affiliates that way.
Our people are amazing, and you know what? When you do live streams, you get the chance to you know, remind folks that it's there. Amazon's beautiful because I say this in the stream. You know, it doesn't have to be RC stuff. Anything
right.
you get through the link. I mean, dog shampoo and sweatpants. I'm telling you, like, and everything in between. Like, I'm blown away. I told everybody, I was like, have your, it's a bunch of fellas, right? I was like, for the most part, we definitely have some gals in the chat, but for them, is that even okay in 2019 to say? Who cares? But it's some women. So. Oh goodness, I threw myself off track.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And when I don't do it, Xenia does it to me.
The links, the influencer links. Of course, there's many different passive incomes that are coming in within the YouTube channel. It's not just the advertising with ads, and it's actually the minimum, I would say. All the rest of the things that are going on is what brings some kind of income to it.
I know what I was going to say. I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I told, especially before Christmas, I was like, everybody have your wives bookmark this link.
Yes.
Right?
That's true.
No matter what you're getting. So, I mean, there airplane stuff, like I said, tools, dog shampoo, not kidding, sweatpants, toothbrushes, I mean, airplane stuff. The guy, they're super wonderful about supporting us through there. It's like, if you're going to buy online anyway, go for it. So all you have to do, I mean, you know how it is. Your descriptions are amazing, by the way. It's like huge.
Yes.
I want to build out my descriptions better, but dropping links, and we're doing the Teespring for the merch. And then of course, YouTube was kind of nice to me in a way to let me monetize, because we had been the 5-year hiatus. So we didn't have necessarily one of the criteria for running monetization, running ads, right, on YouTube.
And they
10,000 hours of watch time or something like that.
They still monetized you without having the watch time requirement?
They let me because it was like grandfather clause or something. Like I said, we had the channel forever, and I had the right amount of, I had enough subs, but I didn't have that watch time. And I sent an email, like I asked them. I mean, simply asked them. And like, a couple days later, there's ads. So thank you at YouTube.
Awesome.
Now, the next thing that I want them to give me is that merchandise shelf. I can't wait for 10,000.
Yes, I know. I'm waiting for that too. Yeah. I like that.
You guys do Teespring?
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we went with Teespring, because there's so many other options, but because of that merch shelf is okay, let's do Teespring.
That's why I did it too, and it is really nice. And I remember having bands where we used to have to, you would get merch and you'd have to buy boxes full of t-shirts, which I still have, by the way, because you get all these sizes that no one needs.
Yes.
And then you run out of the ones you do need, and you got to put up a lot of upfront money. Like with Teespring, I mean, if I get a design right now and it's PNG under 50 megabytes, I can have a shirt rocking by 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah,
ads on it.
And you don't have to pay any overhead, and especially here in Canada, the shipping to anywhere is crazy
That's
expensive.
what saved us.
Yeah, because we wouldn't be able to ship it ourselves. Like, it's cheaper probably to make t-shirts here, but the shipping would just kill it right away. So having somebody...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, you look how hard you work to do your show. And can you imagine the time it would take to deal with logistics there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sizes and colors and shipping. It's fine that they take what they take, because it's just like Amazon, right? I mean, you don't have to deal other than broadcast your link and your stuff. It is neat, and I think other creators are once you start going down the rabbit hole of how to be successful online, social media style, and YouTube, that's you're going to always find people talking about, passive income streams. And I think that's, for me, that's the tops.
Well, that's what we were saying the other night, and it's not just on YouTube. I mean, that is the world we live in today. Most people don't say, well, I'm going to go get a job at, Ford and get my retirement and my pension be done. We're versatile people. We live in a multi-stream world right now when it comes to income. And YouTubers now are good because it's preparing us for what the real world is like. We're almost living as freelancers, even if you have a full-time job. You're on contract. Nothing's guaranteed. No pension come. There's all kinds of things. So that is just a continuation of the way the world is changing. So that's why YouTubers have their fingers in so many pies wherever there is, whether it's endorsements, whether it's T-shirts, whether it's affiliate links. All these things need to come together just to try to make something out of this.
Yeah.
You can't put it all in one thing.
And ultimately, I mean, you know, the whole drive is to sustain the passion you have.
Yes.
I mean, everybody would love to, and this is one thing I want to make sure new to the party people keep in mind: expectations. Like, manage your own really well.
Yes.
Because the minute if you can make it, if you can do your passion and it sustains itself, or almost does, or just a little bit more than almost does, you're happy, you're winning, right?
Right.
But if your expectations are for the moon, it's not going to matter where you are on that gradient of success, because you're expecting more than maybe can be given. And it's just I did that with the bands years ago. I expected too much. You know, I wrote the songs and played them, and it's heart and soul. You know, you're giving it all. You're living the life, right? You make these sacrifices for it, right? Your art. And sometimes, and I was younger, and when you do that, sometimes you expect more than people are willing to give. Yeah. And that's, as long as you manage your own expectations, you won't be let down. I mean, for me, I remember watching people climb the fence to the venue so they could save $3. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, man, I got to get my priorities straight. You know, that's cool. Like, maybe I put too much stock in this. So, you know, you have fun. You know, you're winning if you're happy, if you enjoy it. And if you make a little bit of skrill and you can throw it back in your little venture, your business, then cool. Yep. Have fun with it, you know? And eventually you'll find, by surprise, it's paid off. It was real. It was honest. It was organic. And here you are with, like, inadvertently became a personal brand. Mm-hmm. And you've got a following worth tending to and caring for. And that's what happened with me. It's like, by mistake, I played around with the guitar enough that by accident, eventually I learned how to play it. and it's like the same thing for this. Like, I screw around with video and airplanes enough that by mistake, here we are having a ball talking about, like, a community of people who do it. It's cool.
Well, I'm kind of a music guy of sorts, and I want to talk to you a bit about your band days, and I want to go back a little bit more into them, if that's all right with you.
Go, man.
All right. So I guess we're going to start back about how, because I play guitar as well, and I was also a drummer. So I want to start with guitar. When did you first start to play?
Like, year?
Yeah, around.
Oh, man. This is when people date themselves, right?
No. I mean, what age, like, year, like, around?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to give any years. You don't want to.
Yeah, I started beating around on one with one string, probably 16. Nice. I mean, I was cool to get around on one string.
Well,
and I mean, I'm not kidding. And I'm playing pots and pans and math books and trash cans and junk, bedposts in my bedroom, rocking out, trying to play along with the stuff.
Well, that's where it all begins.
That was the very kind of beginning.
That's where you learn rhythm and time, right there.
For real.
Yep.
And I taught myself completely wrong. But then I already had timing when I started on drums.
Oh, okay.
But I did both, you know, like I said, the one string guitar, like my uncle had left in the house. And then drums, I completely learned wrong, but at least I had rhythm. And then so when somebody who knew what was going on stepped to me and showed me some things, I was like, oh, you know, and that, okay, cool. I get it.
Nice.
You learn how to separate your feet from your hands, and then it's, you know, all uphill from there, or downhill from
there. When did you start playing in bands?
Way before I should have been on stage. Talking about starting before you're ready. Like, at the minute I had the equipment, like, we had little punk rock bands, and we played whenever we got a chance.
The minute you got the other 5 strings, you were ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I let the guy. Yeah, I was still sitting on drums for those early, ventures out on stage, and we're just having fun. And you know what? It didn't matter that we were awful because we were having fun, and that's infectious.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, bands, RC, whatever, streaming, knitting, scrapbooking. It doesn't matter if you're having fun. Like, that is real stuff that people want to be. It's magnetic.
It is. I have an expression. I always say it's the good kind of contagious. People hear me saying all the time, and it really is. It does spread. And with positivity, you can't go wrong because somebody's going to like what you're doing.
That's right.
You're going to feel a vibe. And you know what? You can even attract new people that weren't initially into what you did. You can attract them in by your enthusiasm and your passion for it.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
That's it.
So did you play in bands for a long time, or?
Yeah, I kind of did. I did it I was going to be famous, man. I mean,
a lot
of people that play, right?
Did you go to LA?
Huh?
Did you do the whole go to LA to play type of thing, like to pack up?
No, I went to Chicago.
Oh, I love Chicago. Great music city.
Yeah, it was awesome. But I played more when I was in Muncie, my hometown in Indiana.
Really?
I was doing way better there than I did when I was in Chicago. We got so busy just trying to survive, period. Not much happened. And I was in a rock and real scrappy 2-piece at that time. And my drummer, Alex Morales from Puerto Rico, not Dallas, ladies and gentlemen, on the drums, was from Puerto Rico. And so he got his degree in historic preservation at Ball State, and we're in Muncie, and he really, you could tell, like, so homesick.
Oh.
Right? And so we get to Chicago. It's like the melting pot. He got a job at a telecommunications place being a translator. And I used to not make fun, but I used to always call his job the miniature United Nations because they had people from everywhere working a call center.
Cool.
And he just lit up and came back to life in a way.
Nice.
And we did it for a year, and I moved back home.
Yeah.
And he stayed. He's still there. I think he's like an alderman or something there now, for real.
Oh, really?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Crazy.
I used to go to Chicago a lot. I worked for a music company, Jam Industries. We were one of the bigger distributors in the world. I did Marshall, Pearl, and so once I crossed into Canada, we were the Canadian the Canadian representative. So we used to travel to Chicago for Washburn all the time. We were down there for US Music Corp and that. I love Chicago. Nice. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
It is a neat place, and I'm about an hour and a half from the place.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, close. We go a handful of times a year.
Sweet.
But family stuff now. I got a bunch of little kids. I haven't rock and rolled for aviation became the new rock and roll, but again, in a way, familiar.
Yeah.
Everything is experience, right? Like some of our greatest inspiring creators out there will always say your first stuff is going to stink,
Of course.
You got to get through it. And I feel like I got a little bit of a heads up because the microphone, I went from drummer to lead singer guy who wrote the tunes and played guitar and sang them and did the promotions and the marketing. And this is social.
Yeah.
So you remember the magazine, Book Your Own Effing Life? This is newsprint magazine. You sent cassettes to places, right? And then MySpace happened, which kind of was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I feel like in a way, the promotional aspect of throwing shows, booking other bands to play with us, supporting other bands, to help bring the crowd, all very local, tangible right here in the room, but the same strategies I've, applied to this thing.
You absolutely nailed it. Like you caught our shutout night last night. Every time before that goes on, I listen to Whitesnake Still of the Night 3 times before I go on because it's like a rock show. It's the same energy. When we're done that shutout, I lay down and go to sleep. I'm dead. The 3 hours of that, I'm beat. And it is that same mentality, like that.
It is.
And
what a buzz, the show. Talking about it right now, like I'm remembering like the show of it all.
Yeah.
and the whole responsibility to the people that you want to come spend their time with you.
Yep.
You owe them something.
That's right.
And also, this stands out in my mind a lot, talking about like rock shows. So we played this one gig as a venue in Muncie, and we played it a handful of times. And the first couple of times we played it, you know, they would play their own music in between the bands.
Right.
Well, I'm putting together this vibe, this night, bands that kind of go well together, maybe not necessarily the same, but, you know, television, you know, rock and roll. It's like, it might as well have been like 70s, late 60s. I called my stuff garage pop.
Oh.
So it's like kind of scrappy, but like people would still dance to it, you know? So it wasn't like running them out.
Right.
Good times. And so we'd book other bands that would go well with that. And so not only did I play in bands, but I'd promote nights, you know, so I'm getting the door as a promoter a little bit and as a band. And then of course, you know, sharing with the other bands, but you're spinning the magic of the mood of that night playing music. Yeah. And so we got these great bands, and in between bands, they'd still be playing like dinner music, like Simon and Garfunkel. Nothing wrong with those guys.
No, but not,
definitely not New York City,
no.
You know, Detroit, Rock City kind of, you know, like fever pitch.
Right.
So I noticed that just in between bands, it just killed the room. And so I started making mixed CDs to prime the pump. So starting before the show, you're playing my stuff, you know, the CD mixes I made, and in between bands, you're playing this stuff. And we're not going to let this fever pitch that's going go away.
Yeah, keep the vibe running.
Yeah, fun. I mean...
And it is, and the live stream, I mean, a lot of it is based on the same performance stuff. And I think a lot of people in here that's never had the chance to play in a band have always kind of secretly wanted to. You know, either there's two people in the world, it seems like they want to be a musician or an actor, and either way, a live stream fulfills that for them and gives them that chance on their own terms to be able to do that, you know. And it is. You command an audience, you know, all the great things that go with it, audience appreciation, you know, reciprocal feedback from each other. You can do whatever you want on here and find a group that likes what you do. It's a very cool feeling.
It is. It really is.
A lot of questions already. I think we should jump to a couple of them before, because I feel bad. Sometimes we get talking so much with our guests, and then we forget towards the end to get to the questions. And people are like, have you not asked them yet? So I think we'll jump to them.
Yes, I'll try to get them. We are having here a conversation about how amazing you guys' community is, and your, I will call them your people in the chat are so amazing. They're like, thank you for having our pilot Ryan on. Thank you for spreading the word out. And I'm like, thank you guys for being
coming here. We really appreciate
we're
it.
so excited to have you, and everybody in the chat as well. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Amazing to see so many people here.
Before we go to the question, I got to say that's going to be my greatest gift that we can bring to YouTube is 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road. If I go into your stream and I see a couple of people that met here tonight and they're in your live stream, or I see a couple from your folks in somebody else's and they're enjoying themselves, that's the greatest feeling in the world. That there's no amount of super chat can make that, no amount of ads. Nothing makes me feel better that we're doing something positive when I see that. So that's the main mission of our channel, and I'm really, really proud of that when that happens. So, and I know those ones are like myself. I know they met in our live stream. I remember when they got talking, and now they're in the other ones. This is so cool, you know.
Isn't that neat?
Because we grow from it, you know, and they might meet 100 new people from it, and you know, their channels that were saying, oh, they were doing okay. Now we're starting to getting bigger and bigger, and they're getting better following. It all happens by just getting to know each other.
Well, YouTube, I mean, we spoke about this a little bit. Like it's a revolving rabbit hole. Like you watch one video, and it honestly, not only that video, but just what happens in your, you know, thank you, algorithmic robot, like whatever happens in your suggested can change your life. I told you, one of my friends just made an off the collar remark with a comparison, and I hadn't even heard of the person before, which I'm almost embarrassed of at this point. And so I go, well, who's that? I mean, it's a famous YouTuber, you know, and I hadn't even heard of him. And so I go, spell it, you know, and I checked it out, and it took me down this rabbit hole to a bunch of other creators who are like, we're in the same boat. We're not at all in the same niche, really, but like, so neat. And this can happen for everybody.
Yep.
You know, any of my peeps that are over here in this chat, stepping out of what we're used to, can be exposed to a whole lot of things other than, you know, maybe flat earth, this or that, or reptilian presidents, whatever.
Yep.
But you know, you watch one weird thing and you go down the rabbit hole to it.
You never know what's
and that's fun. But when you watch, like, it was Casey Neistat was the guy mentioned it to me, and I okay, who's that? And I checked it out, and then it took me to all the vloggers, it took me to all the content creators, it took me to drop shipping on Facebook, it took me to every investment entrepreneur thing everywhere. It took me to Gary Vee, took me to Sarah Dici, took me to you, took me to, you know what, I better get on Twitter. You know what, I guess I better do Facebook. You know what, let's do some Instagram. And diversify your, not your portfolio, so to say, but your access points of entry for people who might find you. And so hopefully anybody in my squad, you know, who's chasing this thing too, can be opened up to a whole new world as well.
Well, I'm going to give you an example right now. First one is Sparky 107 who said definitely that he is following you from this point on. He sold, and he is kind of the guru like you are of the model railroad community, and what a great community to kind of meet each other, you know, that have that understanding right there out of the gate. And then Mary Boozer, see, I just love this. I haven't heard of this channel before tonight, but you are definitely have a new lifetime Pusa watcher. And I appreciate that so much, like that. And she says, what does Pusa stand for? Xenia is originally from Latvia, and Pusa is a rural town about 50 kilometers from the border of Russia. And that's where Xenia's mom grew up. And we named our business that because she passed away of cancer early in life. So we did as kind of a tribute to her, which then became our channel. So, but that's awesome. Neat. You know, this is so great to watch this. I watch it happening in the chat, and I'm loving it, you know.
You want the boozers on your side, too. They come in force. Like, if you'll notice, it's Mary Boozer's RC, it's Papa Boozer, it's Mrs. Boozer. There's a handful of them. They're going for world domination, and they're really the greatest. They're some of the greatest supporters we've ever had on our end. And he's starting. We shout each other out all the time. We help each other out. He's probably one of the first moderators I ever had over there too. And awesome. He started a YouTube channel only a handful of months ago, and is really picking up some traction and delivers tremendous value to the community, which again is what's up. They do a live stream once a week on a Sunday where they give guys tutorials on how to do the scale modeler trained guys will appreciate this, like weathering techniques, rivet detail, how to dirty up your airplanes and make them look like your own, like battle weary or whatever. And so again, that's all periphery, but the meat of the matter is the value, and these guys are doing a good job too. So for you to have Mary Boozers in your camp now is a good thing for you.
Oh, we're honored. We're honored. I love that.
Thank
I mean,
you.
that's we grew our channel. Literally, we did our first live stream March 29th. We had that time we had a decent amount, maybe 15.
The first one, yes.
Yeah, 'cause
but
we're
then
shocked to see
after
us.
probably a month and a half, it was 4.
Yeah, it was not fun. And we just kept building and people telling to come.
We still had fun.
Word of mouth.
Oh my God, so much fun.
And it's branching like that. It's that evergreen growth applies not on just videos, but also in live streams as well. Is people going away and saying you have to come, and we would get that. Oh my God, somebody, this such and such told me I had to come and check you guys out, and you keep them happy, and they'll keep telling more people about you. It's the best advertising ever. If you can't trust your friends, you can't trust anybody. So it's, you know, that's #1 advertising.
Right.
We were just looking as well. Your channel has been doing good as well too. It's you know, you're facing an uphill battle, and you're doing actually quite well with it compared to some of the ones I've seen.
Who mine?
Yeah, because when your channel goes dormant for a while, it's that's one of the hardest things to bring back on YouTube. And
it was hard actually for a while.
Definitely, and it's sometimes people can't. They gotta just give up and make a new one is easier. So, you guys are doing good.
Thank you. It seemed to really kind of take a minute to get back up to speed again, and it not just like, first of all, like our people had to know that we were not still you know, our videos still play at the place we had been for 5 years.
Right.
So we're still available on that channel. We're what I want to say curate. Like, we were in charge of that channel for 5 years. We uploaded the content, and we tended to it like a baby. Again, back to the comment section thing, right? Like we really. So anyway, not everybody knew we were gone. So it took a minute that way for people to start coming back over to the channel to even know it was there, because they are still seeing me, not live, but we made about 400 some videos over there, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
So they're still rolling. And so that took a minute. And then of course with the algorithm, it took a minute to, I think, like, get on board with it. And I tell you one thing that I love, actually, that helps out a lot. I was going to ask you about this. I use that TubeBuddy app.
Definitely. 100%.
I use it because it makes dressing up the videos really easy, where you got those best practices list right there.
Yes, sir.
If you want to grow, you need to take full advantage of the opportunities, features, you know, that are laid out there before you. So like, I do everything. My thumbnails aren't all that, but
no, they're fine. They're good.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
no. I've a lot better than some of the other ones I've seen. So, and I kind of, I like even the ghosting on these live streams. There's just something about it so inviting to the whole thing. It's different from your set is incredible.
I love the setup. I love the setup on the live stream. I just, that's what taunted me in the first one. I found it, and I was looking through the older videos, like in the live streams, like, wow, this is interesting.
Because it's different.
Exactly.
I tell people there's, you know, I have that all the time. Well, everything's been done on YouTube, and to a certain degree, yes. The only original thing you can truly bring to YouTube is yourself. And that means your personality and your eye, because it's the one thing that nobody else can ever bring the same. And that's what I feel like you did with your live streams. Because there's lots of people doing live streams about everything under the sun, but you took a different route, and the camera further back from you, looking down at you, the set, the blackening out. It was so smart the way it's laid out. It's eye-catching. It really, it's like you're almost peering into something.
Yeah,
you know, got a bit of that voyeurism thing going, and it's fun that way. You know,
That's neat.
Yeah, no, very well thought out.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. I mean, I want the planes to definitely, you know, the earlier streams were not this way. I mean, I'm in a little room in my basement. I painted the walls black, and I put up a bunch of black felt. My table is painted black. It's plywood. It's up on sawhorses with some of that fabric stapled around the front. I mean, it's not fancy.
But nobody knows that. Nobody knows that.
You know why my jacket's hanging up there?
Why?
Because there's a big vent stack for the plumbing right there.
I love it.
Low fidelity. And that's something I appreciate and know can work for my music days, actually.
That is so smart. That is so cool.
Lo-fi. I'm sitting on chairs that I found in the dumpster.
Oh my God, that is so awesome.
So everybody wants to talk about what equipment, like, it's gonna make it or break it. Like, yeah, get good equipment if you can, but
see,
you need to drive first.
Dole Whip Dad said it looks cool though, and it does look cool. It's something that it's nice when somebody's doing something different. This is different, and like you say, you didn't have to break the bank to do it. You just had to think outside the box. And you definitely accomplished it. I love it. I think it's one of the more impressive sets I've seen on YouTube in general.
That's amazing.
And not talking up and coming. I'm talking about big ones as well, to be honest. You know.
I wish you could see what I see, because it's so jank. It really is. Like, I have these can lights with a piece of black paper taped on the backside, deflectors. You know what I mean? Pegboard over here. The old kitchen cabinets I hung up. I mean, it is completely a different world if you turn the camera.
Right. But that's okay. We don't. You know, that's the whole point of it. It doesn't like us last year. We were doing our interviews. We had a laptop, and we started doing them right away. We had no plans to live stream, so I have my Rode Pro mic. I've seen you guys using them as well, and they're great mics. I use the DJI Osmo. It has a locking clip. And I'm like, how do we stand this mic up? And I looked over. I was working on my guitar, changing strings, because I have a Floyd Rose. So you got to unlock it with the Allen keys. You know, they come locked up in the little block. I bet you that would be just big enough to fit in that clamp. And I pulled it, sure enough, so that did it for 60 interviews. That held the Rode mic was a set of Allen keys. Nobody knew. Nobody's checking it. No, you know.
But hey, I've got a webcam on a tripod. You know what I mean?
By the way,
Yep.
it's a question. What kind of webcam are you using?
Oh goodness, it's it's a 1080 one. I have to. I see its name every time I do the live stream deal.
Right.
It's universal. It's like $80. It's 1080.
A
I
Logitech?
think there's one. Yes. Yeah, that's it. And there's it's got the blue on the side.
Oh, I know what he's talking about here.
Just the blue light.
Yeah.
And I think there's another one, or maybe even this one will let you do some green screen stuff.
Okay.
But I don't obviously do that. So it's just a Logitech 1080.
It does the trick. That's what we're for us.
I like it. And I was telling you, I use honestly, except for the flight videos, I use my cell phone for everything. Actually, I have a boom. Here we go, lo-fi. I have a boom mic for a microphone from Rock and Roll with some a selfie stick velcroed to it that I put my camera on and get over the table, like down and dirty in the shot. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Guys want to these. These screws are like this small sometimes for these planes.
Right.
And our job, again, not only being the segue to teach guys how to fly, but we also, when guys are deciding where to spend their money on their next airplane, because we're all addicted to this stuff.
Right.
They want to see what they're contemplating buying. And so I do build videos, not because they're hard to build, but because I want to let guys see the thing as if they could walk in the hobby shop and open the box up and take a look. And hobby shops anybody who's paying attention knows there's fewer and fewer of them all the time.
Right.
So if we can be eyes for the people, that's what we want to do.
Well, that's where you're filling in a niche, and that's the number one. I mean, YouTube is no different than any other brick and mortar business. It's built out of necessity. That's what will make it grow. If there's a need for it and it's marketed properly, it will be seen.
Right.
And I think you really filled a void in there. You went through what I was saying, worked for that big music company, like in the mid 2000s, was the terror of all the music stores were starting to close down. Costco was starting to sell lower end stuff and all these things, and they were in a mad panic. And it is hard, and that's where YouTube kind of jumped in as well. That's where channels start to develop, showing these things, how to set a neck, how to do all these things, because there was less and less places to go to for it. So
that's right. That's right. And that's what you got to do. I mean, if you want to win.
Yep. Eric Rogers says, when Ryan says addicted, it is a understatement.
It's true. And unless you fly planes, you don't know why somebody would need more than one.
Right.
But the romance of it is they all fly differently, and kind of everybody who flies these things becomes a little bit of a test pilot or an aeronautical engineer, because I mean, really, people who don't fly will maybe glaze over, but the different airframes really do have their own kind of character traits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing really how they act and what it takes to make them look good when they're flying. And the one trick that is mandatory, everybody must do, is land the thing. So it's really, taking off is hard too. Flying them is not so hard. Bringing them in successfully every time is like really something. And they all require a little bit something different to do it well.
Yeah.
So when you can show that in video, which Mike and I have done, one of our biggest gripes years ago when we were starting the channel was like these companies that were doing promo videos would never show you the landings, or they would cut it off.
Really?
It's not honest. We want to see how this thing acts.
Right.
So Mike and I, we made concerted efforts to show a lot of landings and touch and goes, personally because they're fun for us, but also because that's the proof in the pudding. Guys want to see how these things behave.
Right.
And also I run my mouth a lot. So I will talk as I'm flying, which is not easy, I guess. It is for me, but not a lot of people want to talk while they're flying. So I'll say what I'm doing. And again, another way to help our community have success is to see a guy they trust work it out. So yeah, it's been a blast. It's just been a blast. And that's why it works. And I think that's why folks keep coming around, because we really are very giving and share our passion and process in the hobby.
Yeah, like RC Weaving, I wasn't what going to say, is said, I've learned so much just from him chatting while he was flying. So many tips that are needed for flying, a wealth of knowledge, and we all share like that.
That's cool.
Yes.
RC Weaving's a heck of a guy, great guy, been around for a long time, wonderful supporter, and I appreciate that, man.
Well, good community is an important key to that, and good things always come out of it. So, and you're getting a lot of nice things said about you tonight. I can't
wait to check out the chat. I'll probably cry. I'm a very emotional kind of guy, man. I mean, that's my thing. I think why it works is that emotional intelligence thing, you know, just wanting to relate and hang out. What's neat about our community is not everybody, but sometimes you get a chance because there's events all over the country all the time.
Right.
Anybody who wants to check out the RC thing, Google, right? And you can find an event that's going on close to you and check it out. Also, YouTube's right here and it's free. We've got a channel full of stuff. And so do a lot of my people on this chat that are RC guys you haven't seen. They've got channels too. So everybody's got their own little take and spin. But we sometimes get to meet each other in person.
Yes, that's cool.
Right. So Dennis Farley's one of them, who we spoke years ago. He had a question about a product. And I think it was one of those things where it wasn't going to work to answer it in the comment section of the video. So we ended up talking in person over the phone. People remember that stuff. I do too.
Yep.
And you become friends. And then he lives in Texas. We're at an event in Texas because for a while there, we were getting flown around to go do events and do fundraisers and things like that. So we're in Texas and I meet this fella. I don't know who he is till he tells me his name. And it's like, oh, what's going on, Dennis? You know, so it's like they're your bros and you've maybe never met them. They already kind of feel like they know us because of video and because of the live stream. Now I get to know them better too.
That's
so
cool.
Guys like Dave Kowishki, who I've seen online forever, never met in person. I know he's going to be at this event this summer. We're all going to try to go to.
Right.
And it's going to be awesome. I mean, it's like, you know, you get the fist bump online, but we get to do it in real life every now and then, which is really cool.
That is so cool.
So I think that is a unique to RC kind of thing as well, in a way.
It is, and it's like bond is everything. It's heartwarming when you see it, and you know we were just talking about that at Christmas time when we went home to my family's, you know, and they support us what we're all doing and stuff. But it's amazing when you're not on YouTube how you don't get it, how you'll sit there and talk, and you know, I'll be like wondering, Xenia, did you hear about Doggy 26 or something, you know? And my parents everybody's got this glazed look in their eyes because they just don't get it, you know. But when you're in it, you get it, you know, and there is a camaraderie. You know, we had a YouTuber that just drove. He's jumped in his truck and drove 1,400 miles all the way from Pennsylvania to Wisconsin for a meetup with a couple of them and back and forth. And it's like in a snowstorm and everything. And it's like, man, what are you doing? You know, like at the time, because I get what he's doing, but when you're on the sidelines, it's like, man, the weather is not good. And it's like, no, I promised I was going, and I'm doing it. And there's a brotherhood between YouTubers if you get the good side of it. There's a real brotherhood of this, you know, that really everybody has. And then there's the communities that do it just that extra more, like you were saying, you know, that do these extra things. And it's so cool. That's right, King. It was Cab 7. That's right. Yeah. Cab 7's crazy. He's older. I'll have to introduce you someday. You're going to love him.
Yes.
He's one of our favorites. But yeah, there's a lot of heartwarming things. Like the other day, June Gall, this lady, she needs a lung transplant. And she got rejected, and she has to go back on. But now they've updated her status, and she might have a chance to be a candidate for a lung transplant. But she doesn't have a lot of money, and she needed an exercise bike because she has to do certain, you know, a program to be able to. And they all just got together, and they were going to get her that and a new cell phone because her phone is almost dead. Nothing fancy. They set it at $500 in an hour. They raised over $1,000 for her, you know, and it was all her friends just came together and. Now she has it.
it's amazing what people can do when they put their heads together, you know?
And how sometimes people are better to each other on here sometimes than it is even in real life. You know, people can build deeper bonds sometimes with people on here. It's an interesting thing when you think about it.
It really is interesting. I was actually, it's funny you say that, because I remember thinking about, first of all, why I started doing the live stream podcast thing was because I talked to you a little bit about it. As I took, like with Dennis and other guys I talked to, I take a phone call for like half an hour or an hour talking about like how to be successful with this one plane or whatever. And I realized, you know what, this is some kind of value that a lot of people would like. Hopefully we can get into those conversations on the show. This started out really being an interview thing. I had some help at the beginning. Then it's turned into Seinfeld about nothing, where we just hang out Pilot's Lounge style in the chat, and I just rip and paraphrase and try to be funny, I guess, and then talk about some stuff. But I was a little bit worried that, you know, folks weren't going to like me or something. Cause you know, I've done all these videos. The funny thing about live streaming is, although I've done 400 whatever some videos, it's brand new to me, even though it's video, right?
You're exposed.
Yeah, you're exposed. It's live. It's right now. I normally can't hide emotion either. So if somebody says something right, they'll get me.
Yeah.
and I was hoping that what you see is what you get. Like, I'm not sure. I'm stuck in my own skin. I don't know. You know what I mean? We do those videos, flight review. There was definitely a task at hand, and we handled it and we did it. And I was hoping, because with the live stream, you get to see more of a person, like really more of them, all those little, what do they call it, nuances that make them who they are, you know, that you maybe wouldn't get when I'm doing the official promo video. So people are still sticking around, so I guess it's okay.
Well, I guess it's kind of like with YouTube is a bit more the no, and I continue on
my deal.
No, I like what you said, and it's funny on YouTube because it's kind of like the cart before the horse on here, where mostly we've been compared to is the music industry once again, where you usually start off kind of more live and then go in and record. You put yourself out at the beginning, you know, so you have a little more confidence, hopefully, going in the recording studio. Here you do the opposite. You record it first, and then when things start picking up, that's when you throw yourself to the lines, if you will. Not that they're bad, but you never know how it's going to turn out till you do it. Most people is successful at it. If they're honest and genuine, you know, it tends to work out, but it is a scary experience. So, Xenia and I used to say we were kind of like Thelma and Louise before they went off the cliff sometimes, you know, when we hit the go button, instead of hold each other's hand, like, okay, here we go. Let's see how this all goes, you know.
That's hilarious. I was very excited and nervous for this because completely new ball game for me, you know.
Oh, you're just doing fantastic.
There's your viewers are sharing us a fabulous story about Petrinsic brothers in Slovenia that was inspired by you, and now you guys are sending them gift boxes with parts of the planes and food from all around the world. That is amazing.
Love that.
It's really, I was going to mention those guys. Yeah, there's a couple brothers, Captain Blosh and Pilot Robert from Slovenia. You notice it's a little similar, right? Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike.
Yeah.
These guys are not shy in saying it's very humbling, really, that we were part of their inspiration, and they're doing amazing.
I love it.
And you know, and they just put out content. I mean, they don't edit nothing, and they hop on Facebook, but they don't need to do anything because they're just so fun to watch, and everybody rallies around them and loves to see these guys on video. So they're sending stuff from all over the place to these guys in Slovenia.
That's so cool.
I mean, it's chocolate, it's like barbecue sauce, it's syrup, it's airplanes, it's motors. One of the brothers really likes tinkering with like the gas engines. We fly all electrics on my channel. But he likes fiddling with and bringing back to life these old like vintage engines and stuff, and they do it, and they run them up, and they'll put them in airplanes, and they'll fly them. They build crazy stuff that doesn't exist at all, and just like it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
I love that, Julie. And for me, that's what I remember as planes. There was a couple flew them when I was younger, and I was in so awe with them. And there was those electric motors those gas motors starting up. you know, and always like it's a weed whacker on full throttle when they first kick in, you know. And I remember the smell and everything, standing there thinking, this is so amazing. Because I grew up in a rural area, so you're not as exposed to everything that you'd like to be. So anything like that is such a feat in your eyes, you know. And there's the 4 main guys that were into it. I loved getting out every now and then to be able to go watch them do it. It was, I still remember it vividly. It was such an amazing experience.
It is something else. And you know what? It's one of those things you're not going to, it's like destination shopping. You kind of have to go for it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to stumble across it usually.
Yeah.
Because it's usually done out in the middle of somewhere. It's safe and things like that. So you have to really seek it out.
Right.
Somebody, though, please drop a link if that's okay.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yep, that's okay.
To Robert Petrinčić, the Slovenian brothers.
Yeah, I already did. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I did. I find the right one. It was featured on your channel. Is that the one?
Pilot Robert. Their channel's called Robert Petrinčić.
Yeah.
Yep, she put it. Yeah, she pasted it. She had it in the chat. Yeah.
So. All right. Yeah. So you guys can see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it the other day.
Tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
I was watching it the other day and again today. Yeah.
Those guys are funny.
They're funny. And it is raw as it is. You're so right. That's exactly what it is, and that's why it's so good. I watched it. Yes, so it's funny.
That's so awesome.
That's great though. No, that was a nice gesture like that, and we're always looking for. We got a bit off track on our live streams after Christmas, but one thing we are going to do this very soon is we're going to start up a thing, probably a half hour each week, a special on just good things going on YouTube and stories like you just talked about. And we're going to feature stuff like that, you know, maybe 5 minutes at a time on actual stories and what people are doing that's inspiring, encouraging, amazing. You know, there's so many stories we get to hear here. And I'm thinking, why don't we do something that puts them all together and show something, you know, of all the positivity that can come out of this platform?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, when you're in it, you don't know how far you've come until sometimes somebody tells you.
Yes.
Like you guys have, I'm sure, amassed such knowledge dealing with and talking to so many different people. Like you don't even know. Like I could tell talking to you yesterday, I think it was, like, I mean, you're saying stuff that I have never heard of before, and I should know. You know what I mean? Like you get what's happening, and not everybody wants to dig into the algorithm or whatever, like that kind of stuff. But just knowing those little tips and tricks, I was asking people here and there. I didn't want to be a nuisance. Like, actually, this is a good question for you, talking about like YouTube kind of stuff.
Okay.
And I don't want to derail the RC train.
Nope.
I mean, you take this show wherever you want.
No. Well, you can take a question. No problem. What's up?
But okay, live streams, right? Like my question is always like, do you kill them after they're done? Do you enlist them after you leave yours up?
Always.
Yeah.
But there's conflicting opinions on what to do, isn't there, with them?
Yeah.
I feel like I see a hit. I take a hit after one. A lot of times on the revenue tip, it seems to, I mean, bam. And what I mean is like probably a click-through rate or like a watch time suffering, where like not everybody's going to sit through an hour or 2 hours of my live stream on the replay. Like a lot of times I think if they don't hit it, then they're not going to watch the whole thing or listen to it. I tell folks, treat it like a podcast, listen, you know?
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your opinion on that, because I've been considering doing our buddy Cody Warner, right? Everybody's buddy.
Yeah.
He's got another channel for his live streams he does with Amber.
Yeah.
And that's a not confusing the algorithm kind of effort and not wanting to hurt his main channel. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if there's anything to that. Like, I'm asking you, should I start another channel for my live streams?
Well, definitely.
Or kill them?
The definitely rule of thumb is not to post anything within the 24-hour period. So if you are having your live stream but then posting the video in that 24-hour period, then you are damaging one and the other. So that would be the first thing to think about.
I always bring up with Linus.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Like none of us know that.
Linus Tech Tips, this huge channel in Canada. They put out one video every 24 hours. Never, under any circumstance, and they do videos all week, except for Friday, because long story short, they do a live stream on Twitch, and then as soon as it's done, they upload it to YouTube. That's the only day they do 2 videos, because the one on Friday in the afternoon is fully paid or endorsed, like Visa's paid for it, or Intel or somebody. So they don't care that they take a loss in that one, because as soon as that other one goes up, the other one's dead. Like, for the most part, its growth is down by 90%, unless it's something so evergreen that it finds legs again after. But YouTube just stops promoting it and goes to the next one.
I see.
Also, too, if you're asking that one, because this is a big important one, if we're gonna go on that topic. Some people think it's good to put like 2 videos a day in a live stream or 3 live streams to get all that watch time. That can actually be so detrimental in YouTube, because its opinion is nobody's that interesting. Nobody can put out that much, and that's the AI is trained to think like we do. It's not made to be a foreign object. Remember I said with the video with when you sent me the pictures, I said I like the one with the glasses, but I'm going to use the one with your eyes because the algorithm likes eyes.
Yeah.
It gives us more points right away because it can see your eyes and it sees a content face. You can have a very positive message like, we're going to have fun tonight. But if you're like this, like angry in the camera, it is enough to trip off the AI and actually recommend you less or even have you at limited monetization because the facial is not matching up with the title.
That's amazing stuff, right? Like we need to know. I feel like I kind of got a little bit of a grip of the AI on Instagram a little bit, because I'll notice Instagram wants to put you in categories. Mm-hmm. And so if I do something that's not an airplane, like if I make a minute movie, like I love my minute movies.
Yep.
Like even if it's talking heads, like me, whatever, I always give it a picture of an airplane somehow first.
Yep.
And because it seems to perform better than if I just go straight up talking heads.
Yep.
Because it's used to seeing my channel, my profile being an airplane.
That's right. It's
channel.
It's tied to the
I don't want to mess things up. So you think I'm okay? It's worth it to me, but I just was wanting to bend your ear. Like what? I really don't want to start another channel. I'd like to leave my live streams right here.
I really would have to see, like, take a deeper look into the numbers and analytics to really say for sure. But oftentimes, like when you mentioned Cody Warner, when he started his live streams because he was still doing his daily vlogs at the time. And therefore, that still fell into that 24-hour period, so to say. Lots of people hide them or unlist them because they don't want people stumble upon them when they're new to the channel and have impression of it being a live stream channel. But if it's something that is a part of your channel as a brand, so to say, then they're all
complementing each other.
Yeah, then they are complementing each other.
Because some will do, like, we'll say, I don't know, they have a cooking channel, but then they have a live stream where they just talk about everything just because, it's got nothing to push the brand. It's just like their venting channel, good or bad. Not doesn't mean they're necessarily angry. Then maybe they might do that. But a great way to do that is to always make everything on your home, like we said on our homepage. Put all your playlists on your homepage so nobody ever has to go. What I always call the video folder is the junk folder. Everything's just thrown in there. All it is organized by time, newest and oldest. But if you put everything on your homepage as playlists, then everybody doesn't even have to go look there. So you can feature all your stuff at the top in playlists you want them to see, and then either choose to put the live stream at the bottom or not at all.
Yeah. No, I like that. And I do that. Our channel has the podcast and live streams is its own playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Regular flight reviews and kind of whatever else.
Yeah.
Really just flights or builds are another playlist. And then when I do stuff for, like, I've done some, brand work, so to say. So there's a playlist for RC Jetworks. I've done a handful of videos on his products. And so I want them to be easy to get to.
Yep.
What's kind of neat about where I'm at right now is, like, so RC Jetworks is a .com.
Right.
I'm able to, my videos are in that website.
Good.
Generating, metrics.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Doing what they need to do. He doesn't have a channel really.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, use, that's what the influencer thing is, like, you know, use somebody who's got a bit of a voice. And so that's been really neat, having our videos on this channel being embedded into other websites. I've got 2 of those going now with RC Jetworks and then arrowsrc.com, which actually just a couple weeks ago, me and Mike were able to do the like launch of the brand. They asked us to like be the ones to let the cat out of the bag, which is like,
that's awesome.
Wow, congrats.
That's
yeah,
cool.
so fun. That they, but that's because we've got a reputation. They know us from this other entity, and we've, you know, got people know. So it's been really neat. It's kind of the best of both worlds, right? Like I feel like some experience, but like grinding out at the beginnings, I feel like too, at the same time, you know, getting back on our feet over here, taking everything we learned. It was an awesome opportunity. That 5 years we spent was a complete learning experience. It was great. We met so many of these people.
Yep.
Doing it. You know, we were only 9 months old when we went to go do that job.
Yep.
With this channel. So it's just been amazing.
Well, it's all part of growth, you know, and it's a fun part. And that's why I tell people you got to enjoy all parts of this, because otherwise it's going to be a grueling, grudging experience on YouTube. You'll tend to hate it. It will show it in your live streams and videos, and then nobody will come to watch. It's as simple. You know, look at musicians when they're playing in a pop band when they always wanted to play rock. Yeah.
It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's like I can all the time. I don't even want to look right now because I'm sure it's crazy. Like, because I'm wired in. I mean, notification city.
Yes.
Like I'm sure it's nuts. I can't wait to soak it all in after this. This has been wild, and honestly, like I'm always reading. This is neat. Like really, I know I talk too much, and I hope it's not too much. If there's
no, of course.
Lay it on me.
No, this is your night tonight. You are the star of the show.
And we are having a conversation. It is less of an interview. It is more of a conversation.
I want to say thank you to the King who donated to us. So thank you so much. And the King who just donated again says, great job, Paul Ryan. Very intriguing hobby. So he was talking.
Thank you so much for both times.
So see, people are meeting. I was just checking your channel, and you went up from, you're getting close. You were at 3560, and now you're at 3587.
Nice.
Guys, he's 13 away from 3600, so
that's fun.
Yeah, so
that's fun.
I forgot
my buddy Mary Boozers are in that 3-digit arena, and I was talking to him, and I remember it still. It seems like it's hard for a minute, but it grows, it snowballs, right, exponentially. It really, and especially when you keep showing up.
Yeah. Like
our buddies in Slovenia, and anybody who consistently is putting out content is evidence of this. I mean, there's also that je ne sais quoi, right? You can't suck, but if you keep showing up and you're not just a complete drip, you'll do okay.
Yep.
You know?
That's right.
And if you don't expect a whole lot, you'll stay happy doing it. Wonderful.
That is you nailed it right there on the.
And Mary Boozers is on a good trajectory. They're doing good stuff. As long as they keep it up, they'll be fine.
I hope you can join us at some of the show notes. We can get those numbers up for you. You're always welcome. So I'm sure you have a great personality. I think a lot of people are going to want to get to know you. So we can.
You know what? You can find us everywhere, right? I mean, if you go to the channel, there's the Twitter, Amazon, Instagram, Facebook. You know, in 2019, if you don't know how to get a hold of somebody, you're really missing out. Like email, sure. But hit me on DMs. I mean, it goes down in the DMs, right?
Yep.
We hit each other in the DMs on Twitter, Instagram. I get messaged. People use all the time Facebook Messenger, and they got me one-on-one. And again, back to the proudest thing of all is really the comment sections of the videos. But when it's a question that's not maybe coinciding with that particular video, definitely go for the direct message, go for the messenger, you know what I mean, things like that. We're available. And guys who are on the chat that know Pilot Ryan already, they know this. Like, except for that few hours that I sleep, I'm basically always down to talk about flying airplanes for real, or kind of social media strategies and stuff. I really have a good time.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
We do have questions, which I would like to ask.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's why.
So let's try to squeeze some in. Mary says Ryan works so hard for this community, guys. He has inspired so many people to try the RC hobby. The boosters love these guys. Thank you for having them.
That's cool.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
nice.
There's lots of compliments. Yes, it just pouring in about the way you're building your community and inspiring people.
These guys kill me all the time. I mean, they're really nice to us. They're really nice to us. It is, you know, that's what we did that other gig for so long. And I knew it was, you know, we make big decisions in our life, and I had an opportunity and I didn't want to move. And so things changed. But I also, just because I had to move to take the job and decided not to, didn't mean I wasn't done. You know, I've been here the whole time. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not changing. I'm not going through growing pains as a company where it's going to change my flow. So it was really something to we built this thing all together with this community, and I was like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna let it go. You know what I mean? Like, even as this transition was happening, I'm like really absorbing all this content outside of that RC tunnel vision of how it's done, because like I did not want I loved it so much. Like, I did not want to let it go at all. Like, worked too hard to like cultivate this culture and community like that surrounds us, that I was like, we're gonna keep going. So these guys have been amazingly supportive. I love it. I don't think really anyone missed a beat. You know what I mean? It's just a different URL. We're delivering the same value we always did. It's great.
Awesome.
All right, I'll stop. Give me a question.
That is amazing, though. There's I wanted to mention a couple of people were saying. Hippie64 said, I've known Ryan for 6 years. We are a few hundred miles away from each other and have never met, but feels like an old friend. Dennis Farley.
I talk to him probably twice a week on the phone.
That's so cool.
At least.
So cool.
Dennis Farley said, Ryan is more than a friend. He's part of my family.
Dennis Farley. This guy is like Crocodile Dundee of Texas, guys. If you only knew. You meet we all say this in the hobby, right? Like, you meet the greatest guys and girls like you could ever, in all walks of life, right?
Right.
What's neat about the flying, we are kind of all kids again. And so politics, religion, all the drama of the world, there's really no room for it. Guys are kicking their shoes off, having a good time, being kids again. It doesn't matter where you align on issues, like, we're having a good time. It doesn't matter where you're from or anything. It's really transcends all that baloney. It's kind of cool.
Common bond, my friend. Common bond.
That's right. Well, a couple people been whispering a very neat expression, stick a monkey pants. What does that mean? There's a story apparently behind it.
Yeah, we actually talked about it on one of the live streams, and you can hear Captain Mike discuss its origins because it's really on him. But there's a few different answers, right? So we were talking about hashtags earlier and kind of owning your thing. Like, every now and then I'll hashtag niche down, which isn't really mine, but stick a monkey pants is something that it's like action. So like before the flight, you know, getting pumped up, Mike, a lot of times in the video, he'll say stick it monkey pants, like, all right, let's do this, like action. And then if I have a really good landing, you know, it's like stick 'em monkey pants. So it's like stick it monkey pants and stick 'em monkey pants. But the best part of it is where it comes from. So Captain Mike, you got to check out that live stream to hear him talk about it. It's on one of the past shows, but he was in the RAF. And so they have these G suits, right? Like these G, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for
like,
G-force,
so you don't lose consciousness. And apparently they looked like the butt was like leather and maybe other parts of the legs.
Okay.
So it looked like a monkey butt, right? Like no hair on a monkey butt. So these guys apparently called each other monkey pants. And, I never heard anything like that before in my life, but it definitely seemed better than action. And it didn't matter what kind of day I was having. When he told me to stick at monkey pants, it was like, I'm on.
Oh my God, that makes sense now. That's
and
so funny.
You know what I mean? So that's where that's at. And so I kind of adopted the I hashtag it. You know what I mean? On Instagram, there's maybe 200 posts of one of the hashtags is stick a monkey pants. So funny.
That is so cool. One of our viewers here says, I love that you can see how much passion he has for this. What a great guy. Well, I think
nice.
you have some few more fans definitely that are going to be joining you on Saturdays for sure and checking you out.
Thanks. Come on by.
That's
we always
amazing.
like seeing new folks, and we'll it's hard to catch everybody. You know how it is in the chat. Your chat's flying, guys, I'm sure. But yeah, come on over. Thanks so much.
I meant to share this a while ago. I know you can't see it at home right now, and I just want to quickly show. Xenia's father was a pilot in the Russian Air Force when it was part of in Soviet time. And I'll send you this picture later on, Ryan. But
oh, please,
this was taken just before he flew to Chernobyl. He was one of the first pilots to fly in after the meltdown, and that's him sitting on the legs of the plane, while going in. So, and Xenia's grandfather, he was a general in the Russian Air Force as well.
Yeah, and my great grandfather was
Yeah,
also
for
an air
World War
pilot.
One. Yeah, World War One.
There's a
World War
picture
II.
there too, so we'll send you
That's
all
it.
of those. But that's why
Yes.
I'm so close. When I seen your channel after I clicked on the link by Tank RC when he tweeted, I'm like, oh my God, it's so close to heart because of that, I guess.
Yes.
That's you know what? So many people, origin stories are very intriguing to me. No matter what it is, airplane, where you come in love with that. Even YouTube at all. Like I want to know so much about you guys still. But these fans, these guys who fly planes, like I said, there's many disciplines of the hobby, but I feel like a lot of them, are military planes. They're either jet age or World War II planes, and sometimes World War I planes. And guys fly those planes not because they're warmongers, but because they've got an uncle, a grandfather, a father, a mother, you know what I mean? A grandmother who it's a connection.
Yeah, I agree.
I grew up real aviation. For me, I'll never let it go because it's kind of like not only just being a kid playing with toys, but it's like I still smell the fuel at the air show. I mean, I can transport to 5 years old, you know what I mean? Being a kid with people who are no longer living that exposed me to aviation. So like everybody's got an association that makes it really, really deep. You know what I mean? That's neat. That's an excellent story about your people.
Well, that's what I noticed a lot in the hobby ones. Like when we had on somebody for trains, like Toyman and that, like people right away, oh my God, I remember my grandfather. All these stories come pouring out. And I love that kind of stuff when people feel that real connection to it, And that's why, once again, I always say it's so important to expose yourself to everybody. Just because somebody's not a diehard into what you do and knows doesn't mean they don't have a passion or a love or an interest in what you're doing. And so many people do have these connections, and it can rekindle it, maybe even get them into it because of that, in the end, which is cool.
There really kind of is something for everybody. One conversation that always happens, and all my RC guys they've probably had this one. A lot of times, the minute you say something about RC, people will mention drones to you.
Yes.
And nothing wrong with them. They're fun. But most of my demographic, I feel like kind of our segment of the hobby is kind of connected to that kind of the history of it.
Right.
And so, nobody really served on a DJI, right? I got you.
Hey, my grandfather served on an Air Mavic for 3 years in the Gulf.
Yeah, right. So Which protocol? I mean, so they're a wonderful tool when you need that aerial photography.
I don't mean to take that as the funniest. I've never heard anybody say that before. I've never thought of it that way.
That's
that was
really
awesome.
the thing. All my guys know this is true. Like a lot of people, it's always how high will it go? And they ask about drones, and there's no problem with that question. But it is a different animal, because you can do a drone from anywhere, and you really need to kind of be at a dedicated place.
I don't mean to take away from your.
Well, that kind of answers one of the questions that we did have about what do you think about drones. I think we know it clearly now.
That was so well put.
I can't hear your. I didn't hear that.
Sorry.
I said that kind of answers one of the questions, which was what do you think about drones? So I think we know now. What do you think about drones?
But you said you don't dislike them so much. It's just a different genre, and yours is more invested in the history side and everything else. And that.
Yeah, I mean, no diss at all. I
no.
mean, racing quads are cool. They're a great way to capture air-to-air shots.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of our guys who do it with drones as well.
Right.
But there's also a bunch who could care less.
Right.
Not a diss.
No.
It's a tool.
I shoot a lot of train videos. That's something I do with my younger son, so I get practice shooting, and we're out together. Cool. And some of them, because I've put music on a few of them, they won't watch them. No way, no how. Thumb down, don't like it. They just want straight, like same as drones or anything else. Some of them just want to film it. They want all the zigzags. They don't want anything edited out. There's different, like you say, subgenres within a genre. Yep. And that's just the way it is. Some are more purist than others. Some are more avant-garde. It just depends on the person watching it. You know, but you can have appreciate, because like I thought of you right away, and I'm like, I would like to get you and Canadian Drone Hub to meet each other, because you guys are so much the same type of people. And I see guys coming in and really enjoying themselves there, but I know some of them, they're just like, I'm not into that. You know, that's just not my realm. I don't want to touch it. Oh.
Sure. And if you're into it, go check them out for sure. But it's a different.
Yeah.
It is a completely different mindset. I mean, some of the. I mean, really no diss, but it's like, you know, my demographic is we're middle-aged to the grave, you know, and quads and drones and stuff, very much a lot of youth doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's just a different deal, man. I mean, they fly, but that's the only thing similar about them.
Well, it's yours is a more narrower demographic, where theirs can vary from 13 and under all the way up to 70s and 80s. It's a very, because like I used to tell people, like here on YouTube, when I'd call out Roger, for instance, I'm just taking him as an example from Canadian Drone Hub. It's like everybody that's in YouTube pretty much has some interest in photography, which means they have some interest in a drone. You know, it's almost everybody on here, even if they don't shoot with one, wants to see an image with one. It just kind of goes hand in hand. You know,
I noticed that when I went down my creator, you know, rabbit hole, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody's got, you know, and I was always glad when I saw them. I'm like, cool, because that kind of, you know, that's in my wheelhouse in a way, even though it's not my jam.
Yeah,
it's in my wheelhouse. You know, Casey's got one, Peter McKinnon, you know, everybody are flying these things, getting really cool stuff with it.
Yep.
And I appreciate the arts of video too.
Right.
Although, you know, I'm not gonna win the B-roll challenge probably.
No, but still, though, you appreciate the work of it, and that's
absolutely.
I always say to hobbyists, you know, you guys amaze me, because somebody says, "Oh, I love working on transmissions on old Fords. God, I love it so much. It takes already so much time out of my day and my week. I'm going to complicate my life 10 times more. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Then I'm going to have to learn how to shoot video. I'm going to learn how to have to edit. I'm going to have to learn how to color grade. I'm going to have to learn how to market. I'm going to have to learn how to put tags." I mean, hats off to anybody who decides that we're already in this already, because I worked in a music company. I've done promotions for years. Xenia has a background. She's a master's in psychology. We do video and photography. We were already kind of like halfway in the gate when we came into this. But a lot of people aren't, and I'm watching them, and I'm like, that's why we started that Tech Talk Tuesday, because everybody was asking so many questions. Like, let's just have a 3-hour panel where everybody can just throw them at us, no matter how big or how small. And as you see, everybody got wrenches, so you never know if they have 1,000 or 200,000 subscribers. That don't matter. And it's because I know there's such a need for it, because so many people are starting off with no background into it. And I mean, I commend people for doing it. It's a lot of work.
I'm totally going to check it out myself because really, I mean, my wife knows and anybody close to me that I really feel lucky to pull off things that are technical. Because like I say, always that this all happened by accident. Like I never really wanted to be like a video guy or never thought about social media at all until I started doing this.
Yep.
And then it just so happened.
I love that.
It's been amazing, but I never planned on it. Our first videos were with remember the flip cam?
Oh God, yes.
That's another reason why we did landings all the time, only because you couldn't film anything far away. It was like 720 was the best you could get.
But necessity, it got you off the ground and got you where you got to go, you know?
I know it.
We have a guy we had on, Art of Morbid, he's from Chicago, fantastic blogger, does everything in black and white, that nice, rich, artistic. He's a bass player in bands. He has his camera for $100 and some, the size of our webcam, and it's 4K, and he shoots everything like this. Everybody thinks he's blocking the sun, but he's vlogging the whole time. He didn't break the bank, and his work's phenomenal. I'd put it up against people who spent $10,000. You've got to develop your talent, and then you can move up in equipment. But equipment won't make you move up in talent. It's just...
It'll slow you down, kind of, if you have to figure it out.
Learning curve will kill you. Yep.
It will. Yeah, I was telling you that I beat my head against the wall a handful of afternoons with OBS and Streamlabs trying to figure it out, and Skype and NDI, and I never could get it. I would like to, but you turned me on to Hangouts, which I'm embarrassed I didn't even know.
Why?
And I tried it with actually Mary Boozer today before the show. I tried it a couple hours before the show because I was like, because we're going to do an interview with him, his squad, the Boozers, and I was thinking I was going to have to do pre-recorded like I've done in other past shows where I'd release it as a premiere, but I would do a pre-recorded Skype video call, record it, and then edit it up, which is kind of cool because I can throw in graphics and things like that I'm not really able to do personally while I stream on YouTube, even though it's totally doable. Like your all stream is dope because you've got so much going on, right? You've got stuff on the bottom. I mean, you've got the chat over here. You're able to, I mean, do all those things I wish I could do to really up the production of my thing. So I'm coming over to Tech Tuesday and learn something, and anybody else who wants to should come too.
Well, yeah, for anybody that wants to, it's a great, and people learn, even if it's not the question you ask people. Like even tonight when we just talked for a few minutes, people were writing, oh, I didn't know that. I got to remember that.
Yeah, and no question is too simple or too complicated. Everybody, everybody can answer them. So we always find a solution.
A great question we get is, oh, what's the best what's the best software, for instance, to edit on phone? I don't do it on phone. But guess what? There's 20 people in the chat. Oh, I use this. Here's the link for that. I recommend this one. It's not so hard. You know, everybody's helping each other, and that's what we need to be doing at YouTube. I always call it a co-op night where, you know, everybody's just there helping each other. Yeah. And that's my proudest night because everybody's getting so much from, including us. I'll learn stuff. People have told us, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, and we're looking it up and sharing it. And, oh, yeah, this is really amazing. We're going to look into it. We learn by sharing our experiences, same as you guys do in your niche. YouTube is a niche in its own as well. And it's that same kind of understanding on the tools, the practices. Yeah. Like we found one the other week. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. It's the library at Alexandria, man. I mean, it's, you know, it's amazing. There's a library everywhere if you'll just like Google it first or YouTube it. And you know, YouTube, second largest search engine in the world. If you can't find it, you're not looking hard enough.
What do you do every time? Like my son, the other week, his wiper came off of his car, and he bought one at the Canadian Tire. He goes out to change it, and he's not sure about the connection. He Googles it right there in the car and finds the video. And not only one video, but hundreds. You can pick the one that speaks best to you. You know, some are too fast, some skip things, some don't skip enough.
Right.
You know, it's an amazing... That is something I did have a piece of advice in Sparky 107, the train guy gave, and I was going to tell you that a while ago. Anybody in the niches, and this goes straight to you, you want to get known as fast? Peter McKinnon, how did he say he grew his 1 million subscribers in 9 months? How-to videos, and always have how-to in the title. and bring things like, or the 5 main things every RC plane guy needs, the 5 main things that this type of plane needs, the 5, you know, this, how to change a this or that, and get them into blogs, send them to every blog you can get your hands onto. How to in the title is the #1 expression used on YouTube by far, and that can really throw you in the stratosphere, maybe even quicker than you were wanting to go. Sometimes that's happened to people, you know, because it goes that fast, you know.
Wow. Yeah, yep. Nice. You know what's funny? We do those. So does Boozers. Oh. We just don't say it. We just don't. We're missing the SEO on that.
That's everything to it.
We call them build videos or assemblies, and we always seem to lead with, and this is we all do it. The name of the product normally is what we're leading our titles with and descriptions, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But so does how to need to be in the title first, or just in there at all? Does it matter?
I would say I still find it's better.
I would still start it with a how-to. If it is a how-to video, start with a how-to, and then
Because something we've been telling a lot of people, and it's amazing how this hasn't gotten out yet more. People will make a video and they'll do like the main keywords, like I don't know. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head for some more generic, but country, world, all these gigantic words. Say you're in the plane, because I don't know your genre as well, but if it was music, you know, bass, guitar. And when you just use one word search terms, and even in your tags, you've opened yourself up from every channel from 1 to 15 million that does it. You need actual phrases that work. How to change a clutch, you know, and that one will draw it in. Those you search the same way you would for keywords, but you search for key terms and then write them into a sentence.
How to stick monkey pants.
Yes, there you go, RC Weave. That's right. That's right.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, but it does pay off in droves. It really does, that one. Like, it takes time.
Thanks. That's a good tip.
Every video we're daily, Xenia spends minimum an hour every day just on. She is the queen of tags. Like, she spends all the time researching them just for that, and that's been a big part of our growth. We do a shout out night now. We're trending on 8 pages in Google on the first page with 8 different search terms.
That's awesome.
But it didn't happen overnight. It was what, 3.5 months of
cultivation? And obviously we're learning as we go, and YouTube changing all the time too. So
I love TubeBuddy for that. You know, too, for me, because you know, you have it's funny too, because you can see what other companies or creators are doing as well, and so many in my niche aren't taking full advantage of the features available. I use almost every tag character I can.
You have to.
Oh yeah.
And then end screens and cards and just everything I can do.
Yep.
I really think I tick them all, except that the good thumbnail is really the only one that never goes green.
Thumbnail, get faces into it wherever you can. Even if you do planes, try to get a plane with you standing in front of it, to the side of it somewhere. Make sure your face is visible. Never wear glasses. Make sure it's clearly seen, the eyes and stuff. We're kind of an exception to the rule, but we built kind of on a brand, and now we can't shake it right now because it's running. You know, you don't mess it when it's going okay.
Oh yeah.
But we probably would have been doing better right from the beginning by doing it with our faces right in the thumbnail and putting like the wheel of shoutouts or stuff like that behind. That would have probably given us even more of a boost. But
well, you see the big guys do that. It's always face. And now that you say it, I notice it.
Yeah, that's right. Linus Tech Tips I always bring him up as an example. They have about 600 photos taken on green screen. And he said that because a lot revolted when he started making all these ridiculous over-the-top expressions. He got hate from his followers like crazy. But he said, do you think I want to look like this? Do you think I want my kids 20 years down the road to see their father? But this is what YouTube wants. They're forcing it so the algorithm sees it like overly happy, overly shot. That's just pulls the AI in. They're not doing it for nothing. They've done the research. So watch what the big guys are doing and do that, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I'll try. I'll try. I mean, honestly, like you needed a picture, and it was hard to get from me.
Yes. The trader spotlight. Yes, YouTuber.
I got it to you quickly, but it's not easy. It's so funny too, because me and Mike would do these, the photos for the planes, and I got to hold one, and smile, because they wanted to see a fella holding it for scale.
Right.
How big. So I really don't feel like I smile well unless it's real, like, or
Yeah.
I'm laughing. So, you know, you don't hear it because it's a picture, but me
Yeah.
and Mike, like, I totally make these crazy guttural noises to smile, and he's laughing behind the camera because it's ridiculous. But all those are like on, you know, the website, me basically making stupid noises and trying to get a smile out. Yeah,
I love
holding
it.
holding a plane.
Well,
Crazy.
it keeps it natural. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Natural
Yeah,
is king.
I won't replicate it here, I promise.
No, that's not a problem. And I want to thank all your followers that's enjoying themselves in the stream as well. Once again, it's great having you guys all in here, and I'm glad you're enjoying the show. It's really a pleasure to have you all. So just wanted to say that I didn't get a chance a while ago.
So I wanted to get back to some of the
Sorry,
questions.
yes.
Of course, there's people that maybe have never heard of the RC world in general, or have wondered and never had anybody to ask to. So there are some questions about starting out. Like Sparky was asking, how long did it take you to get flying RC planes down? Like, how many have you crashed? And
Sure.
How
Excellent question.
My son, actually, when he was watching one of your videos today together with me, he was like, how it doesn't crash, and if it does, then it's gone.
Yeah.
All the plane is gone. Like, that's the biggest thing, is landing.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'll answer backwards. Most of the time you can fix them after you've crashed.
Right.
And just like we used to say the same thing with skateboarding, like you run, you sweat, you skate, you fall, you fly, you crash. And the idea is hopefully you don't so much, and that's what learning and being a practitioner and obsessed and addicted to the hobby can do for you. You get your chops.
Yeah.
But to answer the question, it does take a minute, but there are so many good choices for first models available now in the hobby that and especially if you take a look at Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike's flight lessons, that's a playlist as well.
Nice.
That will help you, actually. It really will. Even though they're older, like, they don't pace as well as my new stuff, but they're a lot of these guys have seen those and come from that place. Do that, and then also, start small, start nice and light. You're going to crash a little bit, but get something that doesn't weigh a whole lot, so it doesn't have enough mass to hurt itself when it does hit something.
Right.
And there's glues and hot glue and all this kind of stuff. They're electric, so the lighter they are, the less they get messed up when you fly. And then you guys who don't know RC, it's been over the last, I don't know, 5 to 7 years or something, maybe. It's been starting to come out, and it's really more prevalent now, where there's the receivers that are the brains of these aircraft that communicate with your radio when you are an extension of your soul and fly it. These receivers have technology in them. Not everyone, but a lot of them are available where they're gyros.
Really?
So they're like, they take the buffeting out of some of the wind, and they really smooth out the flight. And some of them have such smart technology in them that until you say, okay, I want to let my plane go upside down, it won't.
Really?
So you can almost crash proof. I mean, if you pull the throttle all the way down and you have no, thrust at all, you can eventually quit flying and crash the plane. But I mean, really, there's what's called bank limiting technology, where it'll only go that far.
That's cool.
And then you can hit the button from beginner to intermediate, and it'll go this way. And then if you go expert, it'll let you do tricks and roll it around and do all kinds of stuff. So with those kind of cheats being available now, it's never been more accessible for people to get into the hobby. And because of the onslaught of electrics and these foam aircraft, like, all these things are made out of foam,
Right.
molded in panel lines, rivet detail, scale looks, plastic bits, carbon fiber, and really inexpensive considering what you get. It's never been a better time. It's really the golden age of RC aviation, because you don't have to go buy a box full of sticks, a roll of covering, and also be a mechanic at the same time. You can like plug and play. So
That's cool.
it takes a minute, but it's doable.
Has some of the drone technology like found its way because of like the advent of drones and the technology to it? Has some of it like sped up the like these things in planes, or has it been completely separate? Would you say?
It's not completely separate. They do share some similarities. You know, most drones, unless you're building them yourself to race, have stabilization and they call them accelerometers in them already that help them do what they do. Now, the GPS kind of stuff that allows them to, let's say, fly back home, you know what I mean? Or plot waypoints, that stuff isn't really into our segment of the discipline of RC, although they've tried it.
Oh, really?
In a beginner plane. And me and Mike always joke each other like it's a beginner plane and it's got that technology in it. And there's no better way to look like a beginner than to fly one of those things because it's so complicated. It doesn't need all that. So the market dictates too.
Yes, of course.
And so they haven't done one since.
Yep.
So yes, the stabilization is cool, and having the levels at which you can take the training wheels off is really cool. But having a plane land itself and do stuff like that, it's doable, but not extremely marketable because it's fairly complicated to set up.
Right. I get you on that.
More than any, I mean, we're advanced guys and we beat our head against the wall setting up a beginner plane. So it's not necessarily anywhere I would recommend somebody go for cutting their teeth.
Cool.
There's also a tip of using the flight simulator games like Sims for that to train yourself for flying.
Wonderful advice, because when you crash it, you can just hit the button and respawn your $300.
Yes. That's very true.
Your $300. So there's no, the RC guys all the time talk about pucker factor. And so the pucker factors,
I know
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're taking up a $500 jet with a $100 battery and another $100 receiver in it.
Yeah.
And you definitely want to be successful for more reasons than one.
Right.
Yeah.
But on a simulator, it's like, respawn.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Let's go again. So yeah, simulators are great. And when I was new, I did spend some time on one, and I definitely went for. I actually learned wrong. I went for the planes that I liked the looks of, which were like hot rods of the sky.
Right.
Which fly like hot rods, like fighter airplanes from World War II. They were not the best thing to learn on at all.
Wow.
You need to get something that's a little more gangly, a little more civilian, a little more high wing. Again, light and nice and easy. And you'll have better success.
Good advice.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so we have some more questions here. So you kind of answered already about where should be a beginner start. That kind of went on under that answer as well. Do you need a license to fly those bigger planes?
The big ones, okay, yes. Like there's more advanced planes than the stuff we fly that are like there's these are electric ducted fans. They're just brushless motors that run off of lithium polymer batteries for our jets and our prop planes. But there are guys who fly ignited real turbine engines in jets. Those guys are supposed to have a turbine waiver or something like that from the Academy of Model Aeronautics. The AMA is the governing body that deals with legislation and actually helps protect the hobby and deals with drones in the news, let's just say.
Right.
So when somebody makes an error in judgment and flies a quadcopter drone or whatever too close to an airport, the rest of us guys who do it recreationally potentially could suffer. So basically AMA keeps that from happening and goes to bat for us in Washington, so some bad apples don't ruin the bunch. There's clubs all over the country where you can fly these things, and so any club is normally sanctioned with the AMA as well.
Okay.
So you pay dues to the AMA to be able to fly at these sanctioned clubs or at any event.
Nice.
Now, they don't. It's like it's a federal crime to mess with a mailbox, right? But there's no federal mailbox police.
Right. Yes.
Just like there's no one that I've ever seen going around to make sure you've got your card.
Yeah.
Now, when you go to events, they want to see it, and you have a number. You know what I mean?
Right.
But and there's things like a beginner's going to fly that's very small, like I say, like really light, like you could fly it in a park or something like that. You know, be careful. Don't be an idiot. Don't fly around people. But those kinds of things, you don't need to have registered or be a member yet. You know, don't go join if you don't even know you like it yet.
Right.
But if you get the bug as bad as the rest of us, you'll end up there anyway.
Right.
Now, if somebody is interested into it, could they ask, like, those clubs open to let somebody come in? And, like, sometimes do they have open days or something where somebody can come in and get to know people, like, you don't get a feel for it, talk to people?
Absolutely. Most clubs, unless they're complete jerks, are going to be totally welcome to new people coming and watching and asking questions and learning. I mean, honestly, anybody who's rooting for the hobby should be all about that, because that's what it takes to keep things going. They have a neat thing where they call it buddy box. So if somebody's a new flyer and they come and inquire about it at a club, there's usually somebody in that club. There's officers, right?
Okay.
President, vice president, safety officer, treasurer, you know, trainer guy, whatever. So usually somebody is the buddy box guy. So if there's a new person who wants to fly, you can, instead of handing the radio back and forth, if someone makes a mistake, the veteran pilot can just flip a switch and take the control back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, without having to fumble around with
Nice.
Junior and get the radio.
I love
So
that.
yeah, there's always, that's the one thing about I think probably a lot of communities, but you know, I know this one the best. Like, most guys are definitely cool with someone coming in and learning how to do it.
Nice. Well, that's the
Yeah.
best way to grow a community, is that way. It really is. I mean, what else can you do than being inviting to people, give them a chance to see it on the right foot? I like that. Working with, hey Joe, how are you? Working and listening at the same time. Good to see you, my friend.
That's what he says to Polly. He's working.
Yeah. He always. Last night he was in the bathroom.
Yeah. During the dinner. Wait,
He gives you updates to
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah. No, he was supposed to be having a dinner date, so he snuck out to the bathroom to watch
family
it for a few
dinner. Yeah.
seconds.
So he's, I'm in the bathroom watching you guys.
We got one guy that pops into our chats, and he's always out at dinner with his family.
Oh.
And I joke him at this point. I'm like, you peeled away just so you could get on real quick. Like, you're pretending you're going to the bathroom so you can hop on the chat and say, hey.
You know those pops, those little ones, the collector, the Funko Pops? We have this channel, and he gets these crazy numbers, like 90, 100 into it. People in, always a giveaway, and his wife hates it so much. And I go on one night, it's 1 a.m. He can picture in front of his laptop. He's like, okay, he's got a New York accent. He's like, okay, guys, we're going to be quiet here. Okay, she doesn't hear us. So we just got to keep it down, though. Okay, we're going to do this giveaway in just a second. And he's looking behind him like that. And he does this whole giveaway
Under the
with a heart in the
blanket.
chat. Yeah. Guys, she's really angry. I'll be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Like that. And he goes off street,
hilarious.
deals with it, comes back, and then goes for another run.
Yes, Joey, you're
That's crazy.
dedicated.
You know, anything can happen. I mean, I'm in my house, right? I got little kids, a dog. I might, you know, you never know. You might have to split.
we do a shout out every our Thursday, our early edition one. I got to go get my daughter at 2:50 in the afternoon, getting off the bus. You know, the other night our daughter got sick in the middle of an interview. She had that flu going around, and I always say there's proof that we are a real family. We can't fake it. So,
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we still have questions, so I just wanted to get to them. So what would be the price range for the beginner around?
Beginner price range. I would say really anything worth getting is going to be between $100 and $250. And there's different completion levels, and a beginner is going to more than likely be looking for the RTF, which is a ready to fly package that comes with a radio and everything. Usually like a micro, like they call them UMX airplanes. We have that stuff's available all over the place from reputable hobby companies like Horizon Hobby. Motion RC. You can get that stuff, of course, through my Amazon store as well. But yeah, ultra micros, and you want ready to fly, because make sure you know what you're getting, because I would hate to see somebody get an airplane and no way to fly it, no way to arm it, get it going. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's, you know what, if we still have guys on the chat, they might even drop links to, there's a lot of popular models. A lot of guys will recommend kind of the same few beginner planes. I'm thinking of the Hobby Zone Champ guys, and I'm also thinking of the Mini Apprentice ready to fly packages. So one of those is probably about 110, and then the Mini Apprentice ready to fly is probably, you guys will know.
What about the ones with the stabilization that you were talking about? Do they fall into that category?
These have that.
They do?
These have that, yeah.
Okay. That's
yeah,
cool.
Horizon Hobby's one of the leaders on that stuff. They have so many offerings, and anything that comes with the receiver in it already at this point has what's called AS3X in it, or safe, and or sometimes both. AS3X is artificial stabilization in 3 axis, so that's the roll, the pitch, up and down, and the yaw,
Right.
like the rudder, and then safe is a sensory assisted flight envelope. Like when I said it's got that bank limiting technology where it'll stop you from rolling over. And the reason for that is most people will, let's say, I don't want to get too technical and glaze over folks who don't know RC, but most people will put a plane. You always have to turn this thing back to yourself. You're not going to fly it out of town.
Right.
Right. So you're always flying a circle, basically,
Yes.
or an oval or a big, racetrack. So you're going to make a turn. A lot of times it's left turns. And for example, that's what I'll say. So if you're flying and you put the plane in a left turn with your aileron stick, which is the wings, out on the wings.
Right.
You put the plane in a bank, and then you pull through with the elevator, the pitch, which is the kind of up and down on the tail, the flat one, the horizontal. Well, but new people will always keep that left input in on the ailerons.
Right.
And what happens is it just continues to roll that plane under. And then you're turning back to yourself. So you're at the worst spot for things to happen. So you're at the far end of the pattern. You turn in and spin in on yourself because you overdid it.
Right. And bar
So
loop.
that's why that bank limiting stuff is so nice, because you could give it all the left stick in the world and that thing won't let you roll it over.
Right. That's
And really, once you get that figured out, we tell guys all the time, it's like, okay, your first flights, if you're by yourself, go with that beginner mode. But as soon as you get up to speed a little bit, take the training wheels off 1 degree at a time, because you actually also can learn bad habits.
Right.
Because you'll be holding that left stick in all the way to get through your turn, when in real life, without the training wheels, what would happen is bad.
Yes.
You'd spin all the way in. But the joy of flying anything, and then again on top of that, successfully bringing it home in one piece instead of a bag the joy is so high that it's worth whatever it takes to figure it out.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And
Yeah.
people
I
have
gotta
been
say,
putting links in.
Yes, and I got to say, guys, come on. We're one away from getting them to 3,600, guys. We got them all the way up to the 35.99. So it's got to be one other person who has the joy of joining our guest tonight. So there you go.
That's
There's the
awesome.
link.
And the irony is, I did do a channel once to 26,000. So the irony is strong with this one.
It's bigger and better, my friend. After
Now
this
you
one.
know
That's so
how to
funny.
do it.
Yep.
That's funny to me.
That's right.
Okay, so the next question was, what is the next plane coming?
When is the next plane coming?
What next plane is coming?
Oh, well, these guys know I can't say if I knew.
I tried. I tried.
They
I
think
tried.
that I'm in front of a different crowd.
Thank you, guys. 3,600. There we go.
Thank you, everyone. That's cool.
All done.
I tried. I told them that I will try.
That's cool, guys. Thanks.
Nemo Dunks asked, what all RC events are you going to this year?
I'm sorry.
What RC events are you going to this year?
Oh, yeah, I will be going to the Jet Jam 2019, which is in June. Check out rcflightdeck.com for information on registering and dates, because I don't know any. other than it's in June. And also it's nice because they know how many people are coming if you're going to go. So that's in the bottom of Indiana, top of Kentucky. Somebody might be able to set me straight on, it's Rosewood RC Flyers, I believe. Super nice facility. That's an all electric jet jam. Actually, RC Pilots Lounge will be there on the road, sponsored by RC Jetworks at that event.
Nice.
Which is great. Andy at RC Jetworks is a great friend of mine. And we actually did our other RC Pilots Lounge on the road to Dallas, Texas, with him a few months back. So we're going to go to Jet Jam, hanging out, flying, and also doing some, radio stuff, right? Interview podcast style, live streaming.
Nice.
Hopefully if the internet's good. If not, I refuse to lose. So it will exist later as a premiere or something. So I'll be at that one. And then there's another one close to me in my old hometown, actually at AMA headquarters in Muncie that same month. So that's called NEFI, which is the National Electric Fly-In at AMA headquarters in Muncie, Indiana. Also in June. Otherwise, I've got a regular job like everybody else, and it's hard for me to get away.
Agreed. We understand where you're coming from.
You want to see me, go to the YouTube channel, right?
Well, and there is something that I think would be a great kind of ending to this. The question was about kick the stick and the story from when you were 8 years old.
What is it?
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing well.
You're too basic.
The question was about the kick the stick expression and the story when you were 8 years old.
Kick the stick expression.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a great story.
RCV even said, can ask him kick the stick is a story he told from when he was 8, when they took him on a flight and rolled the plane.
Okay. I remember. I got it. For a minute, I had a feeling it was one of my buddies from like 7 years old who's always told this false story about like picking my nose, which is so not true. Because I never, ever have done that. So anyway, kick the stick. This is a good one for pilot guys. So, all right. I grew up aviation family. My grandparents raised me. We did air shows for fun in the summers, and my grandfather, who raised me, was a pilot for a living anyhow. So I'm in the back seat of our World War II trainer, and we would fly in it. I've flown in it before, but my grandpa was, can I cuss at all?
Yeah, sure.
A total badass.
Oh God, that was okay. Yeah, some ask that, and it becomes like a 2-minute thing.
No F-bombs for me. But he was ace of the base, and rest in peace, man. Just been a couple years, but
so sorry to
ace
hear
of the
that.
base, man. So he's flying this AT-6 Harvard, and he would rip it up. Actually, just south of the AMA headquarters in Muncie, there's a little tiny airport. Which is actually where my whole vibe and thought for the RC Pilots Lounge kind of always lives in my head. Like eventually, if I could flesh out the studio, it's going to look like this little shack from the 40s.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, for now, I'm black. So,
wow.
So he used to fly aerobatics and stuff in this thing and just rip up the sky over the airport, and the high school band underneath him would stop what they were doing and just watch. Anyway, so the high school would call the airport and it'd say, can he go do that somewhere else? Anyway, he was awesome. So I'm up with him one time and he's doing aerobatics and stuff. And he's like, because he likes doing them, but he's got me in the plane and he always took it easy with me. So he's like, hey, I'm going to do some aerobatics this time. Just kick the stick if it's too much for you. So it's a 2-seater World War II trainer, advanced trainer.
That would be awesome.
And so there's a stick in the back seat and there's one in the front, and that's how you steer them. That's where you get your aileron, your roll, and your pitch with the elevator, and your feet do the rudder. That's why if you guys hear me say steer your feet, I'm always my head's always in the cockpit of these toys. But so he does he tells me he's going to do a roll. While we're going to be up today, we're going to do a roll. And so when you're a little kid, you think a roll is just just a one flip around.
Right.
Let's axial, like right on its axis. No, nothing crazy. Just upside down real quick, and then axial. Right, and it's over quick. Well, he did a barrel roll.
Oh God!
Which starts out differently.
Wow!
It's a big climbing up the side over here. You're upside down, and you have to give it down pressure so you don't lose altitude. So your stomach at first is down by your knees, and then it's up in your throat. And then you come back. It's all so slow too.
Oh my God.
And then you come back down this side of the barrel roll, and your guts are back in by your kneecaps and everything. And then you come out of it and you're level again. And the whole idea is that you don't lose any altitude. And it's this big, slow barrel roll. I mean, that's what it is. It's the inside of a barrel. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
But I was 8 years old. That's not what I was expecting. I kicked the snot out of the stick. I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick when I was in the Navy either, although I wasn't a big fan of the waves at first. But yeah, I kicked the stick, and we didn't do any more tricks. and when we landed, all the old guys at the airport, they knew what had happened,
Right.
And, they called me Charlie Greenface when I hopped down out of the airplane, but I never got sick, man. But I sure kicked the stick.
I don't blame you.
That is an amazing story.
What an experience, especially to be that age and go to get to do that. Like,
yeah,
that's the whole vibe. That started this all. This journey for me, man.
I was gonna ask you that. I figured that was must have been the tipping point.
I can smell the oil. I can smell the gas. I just was in the back seat just talking about it.
Now, all the air shows, did you ever get to see, of course, because from Canada, I'll ask this one, did you ever get to see our snowbirds perform?
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw everything because we did the air show circuit until I was a teenager.
Right.
We were, which was awesome too, like rock star status, like VIP.
Right.
Like being a pilot's kid, you get all this access.
That must be awesome. Of all the things to go and see when you're a kid.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Wow.
So yeah, I've seen the Concorde. I saw the, Fifi. I'm sure I saw the Snowbirds, the Kristen Eagles, like stuff I don't even remember I saw. Like I saw,
Wow.
It was neat.
Oh, what an experience. I gotta thank you. I can't believe we're already creeping up at 10 o'clock, and the time has just flown by. Like,
yeah.
What a great chat tonight, and so awesome to connect with you, and your community came over with you tonight. I mean, always what a package deal. Couldn't thank you enough, all of you, for tonight. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and I think a lot of people are saying the same thing. And I just checked, you're 30, so you gained 42 subscribers in the last 3 hours. So
yeah, that's right, because I checked before I went on. I knew that already. I was like, I think 35, 58 or whatever.
Yep, that's right.
Isn't that the math?
Yep.
Yeah, I was watching all day actually.
So
I don't normally, but I was.
And I don't usually do it for channels when they're on, but I want you guys to connect. I think it's amazing, and I mean, like, I'm just watching Sparky and all these guys. They're just gravitating to you, and I hope you guys will get to know them, man. And that.
I hope they pop in on our show so I can see what's happening.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna see it after the fact,
Yep.
like probably immediately after I go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna check this out, and thank you so much for doing a great job over there, and really humbled and honored that you asked. I feel like us.
Oh yes,
like I'm the one standing here, but you asked us all.
I agree.
And that's cool.
It is.
Super cool.
That's how we're growing. And like, for instance, if you get over to Sparky's live stream, you're going to meet a ton of new people going to be interested in your guys as well. And Canadian Drone Hub, and that's just the ones closely related to you. And the same with all these guys will be coming over. They'll bring their friends, and guess what? Everybody made a bunch of new friends tonight, which is cool.
That is cool, and thanks so much. And I hope to see folks in the chat so I can get a chance to rap with them too, and make that connection.
Oh, they'll be there. I can tell already. Yeah,
I cannot wait. I can't wait to check it out, man, because it's I'm just looking at Zoom. You know what I mean? I'm looking at me, you, and the Zoom.
Yep. Well, like I said, tonight was your night. Let us do all the heavy lifting, but yeah, definitely go back and see it as well. And we're gonna keep in touch, and we'll get together, and definitely Tech Talk Tuesday drop over. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff you were asking again, and that. So it's a great place for channels, especially anybody in YouTube. Anybody new tonight as well. that's the one night of the week where if you're on YouTube, you'll definitely find something at some point that's going to help you out. So
the Tech Tuesday tomorrow.
Yeah. It's a big help. So that's right. It's tomorrow. My God, it's Monday. I'm so mixed up.
Yes, it is. And your show is every Saturday at 9 p.m.
Yes,
Eastern.
guys. The link's in the description. Once again, keep an eye onto it. You definitely have to check it out. And if you haven't seen it already, I'm going to give you a little sneak preview once again of what his live stream looks like, because it is just. I've been gushing about what he said ever since. I've been telling lots of people, so I love it. I love when people do something interesting, something different, and you did something interesting and different. So I love it.
Oh, thanks so much.
No, very well done, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You were fantastic.
You're very welcome. Thank you, guys.
So we'll let you go for now, but we'll talk very soon. And
all right, well, hey, what do I do? Just X out or what? Man?
Yes, sir. I'll take care of that for you as well. So
okay, hey guys, appreciate it. Thank you so much for shining a light on this community.
Not a problem. It was a pleasure for everybody to see. You guys do a fantastic job.
Thank you. See ya.
Have a good night. Bye now. Oh my God, that was so awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like he has so many more stories in his pocket to tell that we didn't even hear yet. And I'm so looking forward to the live streams on Saturday.
Yep.
And hearing some of the bits of his childhood growing up in pilot family. Amazing. Thank you guys for Ryan and for you guys in the chat from the community of RV Planes. Thank you. This is so amazing. I feel so warm and fuzzy inside now.
Yeah, it is. It was just once again a nice fit. And I just want to mention a few. I want to thank Paul. I shouldn't do this because I'm going to miss some people, and if I do, I'm so sorry. I want to thank Dennis. Where's everybody else? Mary Boozer. I want to thank each and every one of you guys. And now I'm not going to be able to find half of them because you know how bad I am at this. I shouldn't even do it.
RC, Viva, yes, of course. Yuck. Oh my God, there's so many of you guys here, and thank you so much. And I see some of you popping in. You were just lurking, which we also love. We always love the watchers as well. So thank you so much.
Did he? Okay, yes, that's a good idea.
Yes, so that's a good idea. And thank you so much to Sparky once again. That was one of your best. Can he come back next week? Well, you can drop by his live stream on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's past your bedtime, I know.
And I think it's time for a hobby special soon. And I'm thinking Sparky, I'm thinking Roger, I'm thinking Ryan, and putting these all together on one panel.
That's right.
That would be fun to do.
We're going to start our panel specials, and I think it's a great start to that.
Let them talk about the hobbyist side and stuff like that. That would be a cool panel to have together, I think. So if they're interested, we'll try to work something out for that. That would actually be a lot of fun.
Yes, I think it's a great idea. So we'll definitely work on that in a very, very, very near future.
Yes, definitely. And once again, guys, you're new. I hope you can keep coming back and checking us out. We are on 6 nights a week. Once again, you can find our schedule on our About section. Let me bring that up for you. There you go, guys. So it's 7 p.m. Eastern every night. Oh, see, I had the music shut off for our guests. I forgot to bring it back. And no, we're not going to put on a wheel music tonight. It's a little too funky. We're on at 7 p.m. Eastern every night, except for Thursdays, guys. We have our Wheel of Shoutouts, which we did last night, and we do Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. It's the European edition, but it's open to everybody. We just go on a little earlier to say thank you to all those people across the pond that stay up so late to watch us the rest of the days. And it's a great way to meet channels, great way to grow. It's a game that we spin a wheel, call out 2 letters. It's a lot of fun. And you also there, too, as well, hear tips about what to do for your channels and that. And tomorrow night, guys, yes, it is Tech Talk Tuesday, and that's where we spend the whole 3 hours just with you guys. We don't have a guest. We don't have a wheel or nothing. It's just all on you guys, answering questions, figuring things out together, and you can learn a ton of that. You can learn a ton of information about YouTube, and no question's too small. It's open to everybody. That's why you all have blue wrenches. We're all creators, bonded by being. We're all bonded as creators and human beings, no matter what size of channel we have.
And don't go anywhere just yet, because as always, we are sending you over to another great channel at the end of our stream with the hashtag from Pusa with Love Raid.
Yep.
And tonight, let's continue their hobby passion.
All you RC guys, you're going to love it over there. Great place to meet all kinds of hobbyists. Canadian Drone Hub, drone guys, but they talk about everything under the sun. There's everybody from any kind of channel is hanging out in there, It's got a great vibe to it. Roger's really relaxed and chill. Oh, and I bet you're going to see the Roxy cam. He's dog Roxy as well by times. So it's a lot of fun there, and he's an amazing person. So
definitely check them out.
Yeah. RC, I love that. Sweetmore RC. I love that. Oh, you guys are awesome. Yeah.
That's right. Include hashtag from Puša with love, so
Yes.
they know you guys come from us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Please hit the like button, guys. Please, if you haven't hit it already. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do, so you can come back and see more of the things.
And
that
if
we're
you
doing.
have a spare moment after the video uploads, come back and leave a comment if you liked what you've seen.
That really helps us out a lot, guys. And please tell your friends. Please tell your friends. That's the best way. That's our number one way we've grown. It's by word of mouth. So if you are awesome people, that means you're connected with a lot more awesome people that we'd love to meet. That's right, Mary Boozer. Never stop the RC. You guys will have a ball over there. So there's the link, guys. You can just copy that hashtag from Push with Love and paste it when you get in there. We do this at the end of every one of our live streams. We always send people to another live stream. Keep the good vibes going. So paying it forward for everybody that's helped us. We're all in it together, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And guys, in less than 24 hours, we're going to be back on again. That's right, with Tech Talk Tuesday. You won't want to miss it. And Ryan did absolutely awesome. He did. Have a great night, everybody. So much love to you. Hit that like button. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.